HD1 Indianapolis. Time for Fox News. It's 9 o'clock.
It's only 6 a.m. on the West Coast, but it's just about bedtime for President Trump. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. He's in South Korea, where it's 10 p.m., and he wrapped up a day of talks at dinner with that country's president and other leaders from the region.
We made our deal. We pretty much finalized a trade deal, and we discussed some other things having to do with national security.
And when the president wakes up tomorrow, South Korean time, he'll sit down with China's leader, Xi Jinping, for talks that'll include a big focus on tariffs.
The U.S. and China have been locked in a trade war for months. Beijing has responded by blocking rare earth minerals, which power everything from our mobile phones to cars to fighter jets. Trump also wants China to resume purchasing American soybeans. Last year, China purchased $13 billion worth from American farmers. This year, zero.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson in South Korea. They're still assessing the destruction Hurricane Melissa did in Jamaica, hitting as one of the most powerful storms ever with 185-mile-an-hour winds. 3 deaths are reported there, along with a lot of damage and flooding. Melissa is now hitting Cuba and then the Bahamas.
We're very concerned with the Bahamas. These are flat-lying islands, which is different than the monster that we were facing with Cuba and Jamaica. There's nowhere for the water to go, and we are expecting possibly up to an 8-foot storm surge with intense rain.
Fox Weather's Britta Merwin. The government is shut down for a 29th day with no end in sight to the standoff in Congress over funding, so a lot of federal workers remain off the job unpaid. Those deemed essential keep working, but also without pay. Joe Segreto is one of them, an air traffic controller, and he tells Fox.
You know, the pressure is real. We go to work and we speak with people. That's all we talk about. It's a distraction. You go home to your safe place, and it's a distraction there, too.
Some controllers have been calling out sick or getting second jobs to make ends meet. That's led to a lot of flight delays, more than 12,000 Monday, yesterday, and this morning. Another concern, the SNAP food assistance program will run out of funding, so Americans who need food stamps may not have them starting Saturday. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Looking into 2 shootings, one of them fatal. Cloudy and 47 this morning in the Circle City. Feels like 38. High today around 55 with some on and off showers possible too. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Police say the fatal shooting of a woman Tuesday night on the near northwest side of Indianapolis stemmed from a domestic dispute. Officers found the woman inside a home just before midnight. She later died. Shortly after, officers found a man matching the description of the suspect. IMPD believes the man and the woman got into an argument and then shots were fired.
It's just really sad when relationships end tragically and violently. And if this is you, if you are in an abusive relationship, we ask that you call 911.
IMPD has since identified the suspect as 38-year-old Stephen Baker Jr. Captain Rob Ryder there says they're speaking with witnesses to try and gather more information about the shooting. Earlier in the day, Indianapolis police say a person was shot on a bus in Indy's near north side. Nathaniel Love saw it happen.
What did you see at this bus stop?
It was a big argument on the bus with a group and one male, and then they started jumping them, and then a security guard tried to stop them, and then that's when shots was fired.
WIBC's Ryan Hedrick reporting. Love says only one person opened fire, but he says he saw 8 to 10 people were involved in the scuffle. In an announcement made Tuesday, Circle City Broadcasting, the parent company of Wish TV and My Indy TV 23, have agreed to buy WRTV ABC from the EW Scripps Company. The deal is for $83 million and would need approval from the FCC first in order to go through. The statewide average for gas today is $2.99 a gallon, says Gas Buddy. In Indianapolis, the average is $2.95, falling a few cents from earlier this week. Where you could see rain in Indiana today.
Along and south of I-74, odds are pretty good you're going to see some rain. The further south you go, the more coverage of rain you're going to get. To the north of that, little or no rain is expected except for maybe Muncie area late this afternoon.
Meteorologist Chad Swain with the National Weather Service says there's little to no chance of storms today, but more rain is likely for tomorrow. And new Pacers guard Mac McClung with his first practice with the team on Tuesday. Head coach Rick Carlisle on how he's been getting used to the squad.
He's got a pretty good natural feel for the NBA game, and he'll be playing some 2 and some 1. I know he's excited. We're happy to have him on board.
Indiana will face the Dallas Mavericks this evening on the road, still looking for their first win of the season. Matt Bear has a check of traffic.
All right, Jarrett, looking at westbound 70 still slow coming into the north split from Emerson Avenue. That's because of a crash. Northbound 65 south side slow after Southport Road to 465. And again after Keystone Avenue into the south split. Those are construction zones. Inbound 65 slow for the White River 221st. Southbound 69 crash clear after State Road 13. Stop and go traffic starts before State Road 13 and it continues for about 4 miles. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard that Staples Easy Button is back with even more easy? Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live online or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
This hour powered by Stevenson Heating and Cooling, your American Standard air dealer, serving Johnson and Morgan counties.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Cloudy, breezy, and damp at times with on and off showers. Wind gusts get up to 30 miles per hour at times. Today's high 54. Cloudy with on and off showers overnight, a low of 45. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. It's 9:06. Kendall and Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Huh. What's the lead story today?
Huh.
Do you ever wonder why you pronounce the G twice in the word longevity?
Casey, I was told there was no grand jury. I was told it didn't exist.
According to some news outlets, that's not the case.
I was told we were lying. We were making it all up. It was a plot, some bizarre plot to get the lieutenant governor. And then, lo and behold, yesterday, the Indy Star, Fox 59, basically every media outlet in the city reported that exactly as we had said for months, that there is a grand jury, along with the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, who is not only looking into the Lieutenant Governor, Micah Beckwith, in his office, but they're looking into them for the exact things we said that they were looking into them for, which is artificial intelligence, pornography, and ghost employment.
That's correct.
And so we were right. No apologies from anyone in the Micah Beckwith camp who repeatedly tried to deny that this... Look, it's not even the thing, right? It's the deception and the manipulation. And that's what you get from Micah and his orbit, is denials, deception, manipulation. And Micah Beckwith, and this pains me. You go through stages of grief on something like this, and I've reached the point now where I'm numb to it, and I just simply want justice at this point. Like, I've finally accepted what he is. Because when you go through this, and someone that you were look, Micah Beckwith at one point was, at least I thought, and now in hindsight, believe I was just being used the entire time. But Micah Beckwith, I perceived as one of my closest friends at one point. My pastor, he married my wife and I. I mean, I thought the world of the guy. But what became abundantly clear to me is that the guy is a habitual liar. He's highly fraudulent. And I couldn't simply ignore that and what he was doing in his role as the lieutenant governor of the state of Indiana, the second highest ranking official in the state of Indiana, because at one point I thought he was my friend or my buddy, and I just refused to do that. And look, I had to eat a lot of crow on this because I don't like any of these people. I make a living out of holding these people accountable. And the guy that I put up on a perch and said, this is the one guy everybody can believe and trust in, proved to maybe be the worst of them all. And for a prideful person such as myself, that was a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But the onus is to the audience. My obligation is to our audience, who gives up their time to listen to us every day. And the obligation had to be to say, look, I know this stuff is going on. I know why it's going on. I'm not going to hide it from you. I have to tell you about these things that we are seeing and that we are going through. And what became very obvious once Micah got elected is, I describe him essentially as an American Greed character. American Greed is this documentary-style show on CNBC. It's been on for years. And basically what they do is they report on famous, most cases criminals, who deceive people, defraud them out of money, and they're con men, right? And in the case of Micah, I don't think he didn't take any of my money, but the deception, the level of deception, the type of deception, the way that they manipulate people and they con people, or he cons people into thinking he's something he's not, is exactly the same. He's not committing a financial crime, but he is the best I've ever seen at convincing people that he is something he is not. And he has gotten away with it for so long that he's gotten so good at it that even when presented with irrefutable evidence this was going on, like I had talked to multiple people who had given information to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office.
Well, Representative Craig Haggard has confirmed he was interviewed by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office.
And yet, he was so good at lying and so habitually, apparently addicted to it, that even now, he and his staff, I mean, this clown that talked to Indy Star, Graham what's-his-face, still wouldn't come off, even when Indy Star and then these other media outlets have these irrefutable documents that the grand jury investigation is going on exactly as we said it was going on. They still won't come off that this is taking place. I want to read this guy's quote because it is everything about Micah Beckwith and his orbit in one quote. So again, Indy Star, Fox 59, running this story that now irrefutable evidence has come out that a grand jury exists looking into Micah Beckwith's office documentation related to artificial intelligence, pornography, and ghost employment. And his quote to the Indy Star in their article, Graham Lougheed, is that how you say his last name? Loughead. That's the guy. He's listed as a spokesman. When refuted with this irrefutable evidence that this is going on, and again, no one's ever said that a grand jury means an indictment is coming.
Right.
No one ever said a grand jury means a conviction is coming. We have simply said everybody knows this is going on. And even when presented with the evidence, he said, quote, active grand juries are confidential. Therefore, the office has no knowledge of this. So everyone and their brother can look at this and see this is going on. And when presented with this, you go, well, that's confidential. We have no knowledge of this. No, this is public. This has gotten out into the public. Everybody's reporting on it. But that's the orbit. It's deflect, deny, deceive. Think about just on this case how many conflicting statements we've caught Mike in. So he spins in, I believe this was March. So Tom LaBianco is this freelance journalist who broke this story July, August, whenever it was. And in, I think, March, LaBianco was hired to work on a piece for a media organization about Micah Beckwith. And he contacts Micah, and Micah agrees to allow this guy to spend a whole day with him. He's in the car. He goes to the events with them. Like, they're around each other for an entire day. It wasn't like the guy asked one question in passing and he went on his merry way. And yet, when the story surfaced, Micah immediately moves into attack mode of this, an anonymous journalist, or I don't know who this guy is, or there's this person. I don't know who this is. Like, you're going, I know you spent an entire day with this guy, and his name is all over this stuff. But in the Micah orbit, because if I say it, I've always gotten away with it, then I'll just do that. Then he tries to say, I found out about the allegations about AI pornography from LaBianco. Well, LaBianco told us on this program, he said, no, Micah told me that he found out from an employee in the treasurer's office. These may sound like little lies or little untruths or little conflicting statements, but when you put them all together, just like how did he end up at Game 3 of the NBA Finals with a high-profile known felon? When it's one conflicting statement or lie or deception after another, you put them together and you realize this is a pattern of a behavior from this guy. He is a habitual, pathological liar who will say or do anything to save himself. He will throw anyone under the bus. He has harmed several people who did nothing but try to help him. He has caused them great grief and consternation and expense to do the right thing, and he doesn't give a damn. That's who Micah Beckwith is. A person who only cares about himself and will throw anybody under the bus he has to, and will lie about anything he has to try to make himself look better. The problem is now everybody's on to it.
There have been no indictments. There have been no charges at this point. Where is the governor on this? It is the Braun Beckwith administration.
That's a great question, Casey, because Mike Braun knows exactly what he is too. But because Mike Braun is such, and we talked about this yesterday with Braun. Braun's a very meager, timid person. He's a coward. He's gutless. Go back to January 6th. He was a real Billy Badass on the election, the issues with the election, and we got to not certify the election, and we got to stand up, and we got to this, and we got to that, until some people went into the Capitol building. Then all of a sudden, well, I guess none of that happened. Let's just sign off and get out of here. That Mike Braun showed who he was on that day, and this is how he's handled Micah. Mike Braun is petrified to stand up to Micah because he's worried about the people in Micah's orbit coming at him. Mike Braun craves acceptance. He craves being liked, and he is pathetically scared of his lieutenant governor. And even though he knows exactly what he is, will not stand up to him.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Tony Katz.
You want to know why people don't trust the government? Coffee's bad for you. No way, coffee's fine. Eggs are bad for you. No way, eggs are fine. Steak is bad for you. No wait, kale is bad for you. People who eat kale all the time, you're leading miserable, terrible lives, and we see you. My cheekbones, by the way, are all the way up. You just can't see them because I'm so happy. You know how I got happy? Steak.
Tony Katz, mornings 6 to 9 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
It's that time of year again when the leaves turn, the days get shorter, and you hear a lot about Medicare open enrollment. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options, you're not alone. Original Medicare, Advantage plans, Part D, Medigap, it's a lot to sort through. And making the wrong choice can cost you more than just your financial confidence. That's where Howard Bailey Financial comes in. At Howard Bailey, we don't just help you pick a Medicare plan. We help you make a more confident choice with your full financial picture in mind. Our team has licensed Medicare professionals backed by experienced financial advisors, all working together to help you retire with purpose. Get started by texting CARE to 888-494-5004 to speak with the Howard Bailey team and start your Medicare conversation today. At Howard Bailey Financial, we make Medicare simple so you can focus on enjoying the season, not stressing about it. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
The Indianapolis real estate market is strong, but not easy. Now is a good time to sell only if you hire a real estate team that knows how to aggressively market your home like Mark Dietel Realty. Perhaps you're worried with the challenging market you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Neil in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Dietel. I'd already moved and listed my old home with an agent friend for 60 days. Not happy, I decided to evaluate the Mark Dietel marketing plan, and I switched. To my relief, after about 15 days on the market, the Mark Dietel team sold my home as is for the price I needed. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel, 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com, markdietel.com. Tell him Rob sent you.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. If your dream home includes enough room for family and friends to gather during the holidays or anytime, Joyner Homes can build you the most beautiful custom home right now and ready for you to move in next year. Joyner Homes builds character-rich, smart design homes. Check out their 5-star Google reviews, visit their model homes 7 days a week, learn about their in-home architectural team, and get inspired at joynerhomes.com, where you'll see pricing and floor plans. That's joynerhomes.com, JOYNER homes.com.
The best AI for your business isn't artificial, it's advisor intelligence. With Horizon, you get real people to help you drive real growth. Open your business account today at horizonbank.com/businessai. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Pat Sullivan here, hoping not to spook you, but you could have a clogged drain and not even know it, which could result in a horror story. Have no fear. As part of their Halloween spooky deals, my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling are offering a $43 mainline snaking plus a free camera inspection. And the best part, if they don't get your drain flowing, it's free. Nothing scary about that deal. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today to schedule an appointment.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson. Need heating service in Johnson, Morgan, or Hendricks County? Give us a call, 317-557-8532.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your independent American Standard air dealer.
That's a lot of money to pay for a TV station.
Yeah, media landscape in Indianapolis changing, isn't it? $83 million deal.
This is like wild.
Yeah.
That the folks who own Wish TV, who is our news gathering partner, have announced that they have purchased WRTV 6, which is the ABC affiliate, has been for, I think, my entire life here in Indianapolis, for a staggering $83 million.
Strategic investment, it looks like, because with WRTV, now Circle City is going to gain access to all the ABC programming, which includes the NBA, WNBA, and some college football broadcasts.
You know, it's fascinating. Now, I'm very excited because I just expect to see the our friend Phil Sanchez on all the newscasts all the time now.
Yeah.
He's the anchor for Wish TV, and now we can just see him simulcast on ABC. And look forward to just all Phil all the time on all my television channels.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating because when I was a kid growing up, until what, I don't know, maybe it's 10 years ago, I can't remember how long it'd been, Wish TV was the CBS affiliate. And then ultimately they ended up flipping over to was TTV4 when I was a kid, channel 4, CBS 4 as it's called now, which is owned by the same people who own Fox 59. And so now Dewan, who owns Circle City Broadcasting is the company's name, right, was going to get another crack at owning a network affiliate in terms of being with ABC. It is interesting, too, how now you're going to have how television in the city is sort of mirroring radio, in which a couple of companies are owning the majority of the properties.
Right.
You've got CBS and 4 and Fox 59 owned by the same people. You'll have Wish TV and WRTV owned by the same people. So you're really sort of seeing the same thing in our business now happening over in television.
So this acquisition is going to add WRTV to Circle City's existing lineup. As you mentioned, they have Wish TV. They also have My Indie TV 23 and Circulus Digital Media. And they say that this is going to strengthen their local media presence and enhance the value to the viewer and their advertisers. And you got to wonder, WRTV has that building, which is on Meridian Street in Indianapolis. Now, is Wish going to move over there?
And it is fascinating, too, and this is more your world because you were on television for years, but whenever these purchases happen, the immediate response is, well, how is it going to affect the employees, right?
How does this affect me? That's everyone's first response with anything.
Sure. And so when Urban One bought WIBC, we were chuckling because all the people said, well, that's it for WIBC. They're done. Get ready for it to be, Spanish come Monday. And we were like, yeah, these guys like money and we make a lot of money. I think we'll be fine. And and it not only been fine, we love working for these guys, and from the extent of we never hear from them. They're like, just keep the ratings high and the revenue flowing, and
Right.
you'll be just fine. Because money,
It's a pretty good agreement.
money
isn't
is
it?
the universal language, right? That is that. So it will be fascinating to see what changes, though, come to WRTV. Because let's face it, you're sort of bound. And again, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. TV's your area of expertise, but you're sort of bound by certain programming, right? Like your ABC.
Well, sure. There's obviously the syndicated contracts, and many times those contracts will say you have to air this program within a certain amount of time. I don't foresee a whole lot of changes in regards to that.
Right. So that's where I come to how much can you actually tinker with a network affiliate in terms of, you can't quote unquote flip the format per se.
No.
So is it really, unlike radio where you can come in and do basically whatever you want to do with it? It almost is, and I think it was alluded to in this press release, it's really strengthening the brand itself.
Right.
Now I have this other mega property to put with what I had before, and you probably will be able to overlap certain services overlap. You'll be able to condense those, save a few dollars here, a few dollars there. But I don't think you're going to see some wholesale change to WRTV6.
No, I doubt that. What they might be able to do is if they had to preempt certain programming, they could put it on the other station. More than anything, what I would gather has happened is because they'll have more synergy there, they'll get rid of redundancies. And oftentimes that affects the non-on-air departments.
Yeah.
More like, the collections department or possibly the HR department, because they won't need multiple people when one person could do the job.
Yeah, this is what I figured out in this business. It took me a while to figure it out. What do you call it? The PETA level?
Yeah.
Pain in the ass level?
Oh, you said it.
Well, you can say that. There's no problem with that.
Yeah. Your PETA level should never be higher than your worth.
Yeah, I'm the best example of this, right?
Pretty much.
I'm very high on the amount of drama I cause for the
your co-host?
I was going to say the muckety mucks here. The big,
them too.
The big timers.
See, I made it about me.
But I bring a lot of good qualities to this station too, and you accept that when you bring someone like me on board. You're like, okay, we're getting a lot of complaint phone calls about this guy, but we also get a lot of traction, a lot of attention because of this guy. And I never do anything that would be untoward in terms of the rules and regulations by which we are forced to play by here. And the drama I bring is just mostly telling politicians exactly what I think of them and them not like, but same thing with
as long as our listeners engage enough, it makes you worth it.
And television, while like being the nightly newscaster is a different game, it's sort of the same thing, right? Like, okay, I got to pay X, but we get Y based on people tuning in because this person does a good job doing the news or the reporting or the weather or whatever it might be. And so the staff, you're saying the staffing, the way they do things really ain't all that much different.
No, probably not.
We get to have more fun here, though. Radio is more fun than television.
I watch WRTV in the morning. That's my station that I put on in the morning because their anchor, Kendall.
Cousin Kendall?
Kendall's all around all the time.
What's funny, when I started here, WRTV was our news gathering partner. They worked with WRTV before, I don't know, it's been several years now. We ended up partnering over with Wish. And so now maybe we'll all be one big happy family again.
That's a decision for someone above our pay grade, isn't it?
That's right. I don't want to ever get paid to make any decisions ever again, except for the fact that, look, Casey, think about what we have coming up next.
Yeah.
First of all, you have the dynamic, vivacious, incredibly talented Jarrett Luce with the news. And that'll probably knock your socks off. And then Jim Merritt is going to join us.
Yeah, IURC interviews. Going on.
It's going on. We got to talk about the special session that's coming. We're going to get into some of this Micah stuff. It is going to be just a wild and wacky morning here on the Kendall and Casey Show.
It's 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Dallas, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You know she loves her Shane Company engagement ring, but you also want to surprise her for her birthday, anniversary, or just because she deserves it. Why not get her a bigger diamond with our Easy Trade-Up program? We'll give you the full credit of your original natural diamond purchase toward a new one. Her new diamond only has to be $1 more. You only pay the difference. How's that for an easy trade-up? Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
If your dream home includes enough room for family and friends to gather during the holidays or anytime, Joyner Homes can build you the most beautiful custom home right now and ready for you to move in next year. Joyner Homes builds character-rich, smart design homes. Check out their 5-star Google reviews, visit their model homes 7 days a week, learn about their in-home architectural team, and get inspired at joynerhomes.com, where you'll see pricing and floor plans. That's joynerhomes.com, JOYNER homes.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Nearing day 30. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 9:30. This report is brought to you by Gutter Helmet. Congress is struggling to pass funding legislation that would end the ongoing government shutdown, which is now in its 29th day. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer reiterating Democrats will not support any legislation unless it extends health care subsidies from the Affordable Care Act, saying Americans will see a spike in health care costs if they don't do so. Nick Daniels, the president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, said the shutdown is impacting controllers nationwide.
Air traffic controllers are not pawns. We shouldn't be the rope in a tug of war. We leave politics to the politicians as air traffic controllers, but we're out saying every day in the shutdown now, pass legislation that puts these hardworking men and women back to work.
Republicans are pushing for a short-term extension of normal funding levels through next month. Election day in New York City is just under a week away now, with the race to become the next mayor getting tighter. One poll still shows Democrat Zoran Mamdani in the lead with 44%, but independent candidate and former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has partially closed the gap, now only trailing Mamdani by 10 points. This comes as pressure mounts for Republican Curtis Sliwa to drop out of the race. Cuomo joined Fox Business's Mornings with Maria and says support for Mamdani and Sliwa is dropping.
People get that Sliwa is not a viable candidate, and really, if you vote for Curtis Sliwa, you're voting for Mamdani. And my agenda is much more attractive to the Republicans.
Cuomo and current New York City Mayor Eric Adams have both said that Mamdani is not a Democrat, but rather a socialist, and that the city cannot be run by a socialist mayor. And the House Oversight Committee releasing a report this week on their investigation into former President Joe Biden's alleged cognitive decline while in office. Committee chairman and Republican Congressman James Comer says Republicans believe there was an attempted cover-up by the president's aides, who the GOP believes were issuing various pardons and executive orders without the president's knowledge. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 140 points, 47,706. The S&P 500 also in the green, up 17 points to 6,890. And the NASDAQ upwards 103 points, 26,012. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus, get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun, brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
Pat Sullivan here. I've got a fall lifesaver for you, Gutter Helmet. You know what fall means in Indiana? Leaves. Piles piles of them. And if you've got gutters, you've got a problem, unless you've got Gutter Helmet like I do. I haven't cleaned my gutters in years. Why? Because Gutter Helmet does the dirty work for me. This isn't just a cover. It's a patented system that allows water to flow through while the debris slides off and your gutters stay clear. No more ladders, no more scooping out soggy gunk, just peace of mind. Thousands of Central Indiana homeowners have already made the switch. Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection since 1981. And it's been protecting my home every time it rains. And right now, they're offering a 15% discount plus 12 months no interest financing. But don't wait. This deal ends October 31st. Call 800-5HELMET for your free no-pressure estimate. That's 800-5HELMET or visit gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
Drexel Interiors has teamed up with Mohawk for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A portion of October's Mohawk sales will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Visit either showroom or drexelin.com today.
Rock of Ages lift me somehow, somewhere high and hard and loud.
Well, there's so much we can use your expertise for today.
Well, Robert, good morning.
Dealer's choice. I'm going to let you decide where to go. It's Kendall Casey Show, and Rob Casey's here. 30 years in the Indiana Senate, the great Jim Merritt. Hello.
Hello.
Now, you're dressed to the nines today because you're doing these IURC interviews.
Yeah, we're on nominating committee for to give some opportunity to the governor on who he should pick for the 3 spots on the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission.
Now, you'll be there with your suit. I saw yesterday you were looking very menacingly at the interviewees as you would ask them questions. I'm kidding, Jim.
It's not intense. It's a grind.
Yeah.
It's a slog.
But it's fascinating stuff, especially if you're a government nerd. But
and you enjoy energy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is the topic of every day.
I enjoy having energy, which if we keep up with these data centers, we may not have any. But anyway, okay, let's start with Lieutenant Governor. Obviously, that was our lead story today. The came out Indy Star, a variety of other outlets saying what we've been saying for months now, that there's a grand jury looking in to the Micah Beckwith in the office of the Lieutenant Governor. Now, we have said on this program, this is ridiculous how the lieutenant governor has handled this, which is basically to be combative about anybody that suggested this was going on, because a grand jury doesn't mean an indictment, and an indictment doesn't mean a conviction. But when you are so ridiculous about even acknowledging something exists, then you look like a complete fool and dishonest and deceptive when the articles start coming out about the thing existing.
And we've been talking about this for some time, and I think. I have, and many others have had problems with crime in Marion County, and what goes on in the prosecutor's office, and the idea of the revolving door. If you look back on the Willie Horton a problem way back 30, 40 years ago, and with George Bush and Michael Dukakis running for president, and so the revolving door that we've always talked about. In the Marion County prosecutor's office is alive and well as an issue, but the lieutenant governor not handling this correctly, because there's emergency communications and how you handle these situations, and they've handled it so terribly, Robert.
Well, and again, Indy Star, other outlets reporting, as we've told you on this program for months, that the grand jury and the Marion County Prosecutor's Office looking into AI porn allegations. They're looking into ghost employment allegations. There have been multiple meetings of this grand jury, according to documents that have become available. But Micah's biggest problem is he loves to hear himself talk. And this goes back to as soon as he got in office and the stuff with the car, where anytime someone sticks a microphone or camera in his face, he's got to talk. And he has talked himself into so many corners now because he is a habitual liar and he cannot keep his lies straight. And in this case, he's made himself just look foolish again.
Well, in this case also, they're not doing this at the Marion County Prosecutor's Office just for political purposes. They can't do that. And grand juries have to be locked down tight in confidentiality. And so they're not going to have to spend the resources for people to come in and serve on this grand jury isn't. There's got to be some fire behind that smoke.
Yeah, and it's always, no matter what happens with Micah, it's never his fault. And he has so many of these people. And look, I think they want to believe, and I think a big part of it is because of what he did before he was lieutenant governor. I think that there's a lot of people who refuse to believe that someone who professes their faith the way that Micah has, and look, I'm not trying to doubt his faith, but I'm saying the guy as a politician is a complete scumbag. And the idea that all these people just, no matter what the thing is, hey, he ends up with this high-profile known felon at the NBA Finals and can't tell a straight story about it. A guy who's done some pretty ridiculous stuff. Well, there's an excuse for that. Mm-hmm. The stuff with the car, all of this stuff, it's always, well, somebody's out to get him. Mm-hmm. So it's a conspiracy against him. It's political. And I've seen it with this stuff, too, and it's like, no. It's that he, in his office, have been alleged to have operated in a fashion that is not in line with how the office is supposed to operate when you're a statewide office holder, and so they're looking into it. It's that simple.
It is, and on another plateau on this whole situation, when I think it was Harry Truman said, if you're in Washington, you don't have friends, get a dog. Well, the Indiana State Legislature and the State House itself is an enormous family, Republican and Democrats. Not so much anymore, but you need your friends to have that security net around you to be there when you fall. And watching Lieutenant Governor last year or so, I don't think those friends are there now. And there are so many situations that he's confronted with now by just guilt by association or his friends or his office. If something should break, there's not going to be anybody there to catch him.
Yeah, and he deserves what he's getting, because when he got elected, I told him and people in his orbit, because they said, well, now we're concerned like you're going to treat him the way you treat other politicians. I said, I am. I said, but because he's an elected person. He's no longer my friend. He's an elected person. He's the second most powerful person in the state. And I said this. I said, as long as he does what he's supposed to do in sense of holding true to his word and doesn't lie to me or deceive me, we're going to be fine. And from almost the get-go that he got in there, it was lies, it was deceit. And you're right, Jim. The one side didn't like him already. And now, because of the lies and the deceit, the other side doesn't like him either. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have much in his corner, which he's going to need.
Well, in politics, I think everybody listening to this understands that you need credibility. You need that, I'm not going to say street cred because I don't say that, but you need credibility in the State House and that bubble that is 15 to 20. People in LaGrange County don't know about this yet, but they will. And the idea of politics being a team sport is still there, but right now he just doesn't have the he doesn't have the the sway of people around the State House, and you need that. And I remember when you said, if you keep your head down and you do everything right and you make the friends, Katie bar the door, you could be governor in 8 years. You told him that.
Totally. He would be, if he had just done what he campaigned on and kept his nose clean and his office's nose clean, he would be in the perfect position to primary Braun in a couple of years. But he couldn't do it. It's gluttony. Yeah. This dude and the orbit around him, it's gluttony. Mm-hmm. And these people could not help themselves. They're like these people who win the lottery who have no ability to manage money. They're like, look at us. Mm-hmm. But it's government. Mm-hmm. And there are rules and there are regulations. And that's what the Marion County prosecutor, if you don't like it, then don't be in the government.
Well, also, Governor Braun is up for re-election. And, some of us don't think he's going to run. I think he will. But he may be looking for a replacement on the ticket with him, on somebody that's favorable with the delegates, and there are several that would be.
All right, real quick before I let you go, there's so much to get to. It's all happening all at once. Jim Merritt is our guest, 30 years in the Indiana Senate. The special session is happening on Monday. We talked about the State House happenings. We'll get into it with Abdul later. It seems like the governor has put Rod Bray, the leader of the Senate, in a very bad position, basically saying, well, I got to do this because of Trump. I dare you to vote it down. Does Rod Bray, who has said the votes are not there, does he have the stones to stand up to the governor and say, I warned you, it's going to look very bad for you, it's going down?
Pro Tems need stones. They need strength. They need a backbone. And I've seen many Pro Tems that I've worked with, and I work with Senator Bray as well. As yes, Rod Bray does have the stones. It'll pass. There will be a special session. It'll pass the House. The Senate believes in decorum, also with transparency, and they'll try to put it through committee and on the floor. It'll fail on the floor, and then we will have a crisis in the State House next week.
So it is your belief it will fail? It will get a vote, but it will fail?
Yes, it'll fail in the Senate. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it does fail, can Braun recover from that?
Well,
because his major issue failed, which was property taxes. He failed on that. Everybody hates him because of that. And now he's going to try this, and he's going to get slapped down by his own Senate. If that happens, should he just fold it up?
It just all depends on what he does next and how he handles that. It's always the next step on handling, crisis communication, and we'll just have to see. I can't tell you because we saw the failure of the property tax reform issue. Senate Bill 1 will roil local governments for the next couple of years. We're seeing it now, and it goes back to how you handle crisis and situations, and we'll just have to see.
Boy, I hate that I have to cheer for Rod Bray, but I do, and nothing would make me happier than to watch that thing go down, and Rod Bray would be a rock star if he did that.
Well, certainly,
the people hate it.
It's certainly going to be something to talk about.
Oh,
that's what we need.
Boy, I can't get that lucky, Merritt. I can't get that lucky. Find him on Twitter, @Jim_Merritt. Also, Merritt in the Morning,
yes,
the podcast. Good luck with your interviews today.
Thank you.
It's Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show, more on the grand jury investigation into the lieutenant governor's office and the biggest stories in Indy, plus Tony Kinnett. 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyears and save up to $200 more. See store for details.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
Don't wait to hear it from someone else.
I says, oh, yeah? And she says, yeah, is right.
The WIBC Daily Newsletter brings you the headlines, videos, and moments everyone will be talking about next.
I don't know what to make of what you got in the mail.
I don't either. That's why I had to bring it to your attention. It was a flyer that I got in the mail, actually more like a postcard. And it just says, are you prepared? Am I prepared for what?
Yeah.
Funeral planning, cremation questions, bank account management, grief support. Believe it or not, they've thought of that. I got invited to a complimentary meal and presentation about planning my death.
Yeah, so basically, whoever sent that to you thinks your time is nearing an end.
Right.
And they said you better... Now, was it addressed to you or your husband?
The whole family.
Oh, the whole family. They want
Right.
your 24-year-old daughter to get in on this as well.
All of us.
Yeah.
They want us to come and have this meal and hear about... I guess that is something you do have to consider, especially if you have aging parents. But I feel like I'm not there yet, Rob. Why is someone pushing me in this direction?
Well, look, you are 63 years old.
I'm not.
Oh.
Even at that age, that still seems early.
Well, okay, so my question is, so it was actually addressed to your family by name?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because somebody owned your high-rise before you did, and I thought, well, maybe that person was elderly, and maybe they were thinking like, oh, we got to get them in on it. But...
No, they had her name or resident. They didn't really care who's there. Just somebody.
Okay, so I was thinking about this the other day. I was sitting there eating my Arby's, and I was thinking, I've been coming to this restaurant for 25 years now. And, I'm longer than that. I was coming there when I was a kid. I was coming by myself for 25 years now. I've been coming since I was in elementary school, so 30-plus years now. I remember being there as a kid. And I'm thinking, 30 years from now, I may not remember having been here 30 years ago. That's sort of the point I am with my life. I am, though youthful in... beauty and spirit.
Sure.
The reality is, this is like an automobile. The time is starting to,
You're on the other side.
Yeah, the warranty probably doesn't cover me
Right?
anymore.
Isn't that something though? But you're in your mind, you're still 20 something.
Oh, totally. When I look in the mirror, I don't see a 40-year-old person. I still see myself.
I can get down. I just can't get back up.
I think part of it is because I didn't go through the normal phases of life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a child until I was in my 30s, late 30s. And I never had a normal job. So I never, when I was younger, I didn't get in the habit of getting up and going to work.
Yeah, you never had a 9 to 5. You have a 9 to noon.
Yeah, and even now, I don't have a normal job, right? I go home for 4 hours and just sit there by myself and watch the, planets spin around. But then there are times where I get hit. It's I'm 40 years old. I'm
Do you want the card? Do you need it? Are you prepared? Are you prepared?
Well, in my case, I'm always prepared that some politician is going to run me over in the parking garage. So you got to be prepared.
You should be prepared. Maybe you need to go for the complimentary meal presentation.
Such an interesting marketing ploy, basically sending things to people's home and saying, hey, you're going to go soon.
One of these days.
You better.
Your number's going to get called.
Now, I read a thing. Somebody posted this. And I think they said the greatest aging people do is at the ages of 44 and 64 statistically.
Okay.
I don't know if that's accurate. This was a health person who posted this, a fitness person. So I have no reason to, doubt that, but I don't even know. I wasn't inquisitive enough to read the article. But good luck.
Thanks. I had a girlfriend who told me that once you hit 50, it's much harder. And I believe I was 48.
Life was much harder? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was around 48 when she told me that. And I was like, oh, whatever.
Kev, you're
But she was right.
Kev, you're 30. Have you found living is harder now at any point? Or are you still basically I can, you out with me, you out till 3?
I mean, my social circle doesn't really go out as much as we used to.
Because they're getting married and having kids, right?
Right. So it's different for that reason, but I feel like I can still keep up with people.
Have you kept the same group of friends? Because I always had to rotate through new friends about every 2 years because they would move on with their life, and I said, I'm too immature for that. I'm going to stay here and do the same stuff. So I had to rotate through new friends like every 2 years. Have you kept the same batch of friends?
Yeah, I guess I hang out with certain people more and less.
That would be hard then if you had the same group of people. You know me, I could make friends with a fly, so it wasn't a big deal to me.
You'll get a new batch of friends when your daughter enters school.
Yeah, I got enough friends.
Because you'll become friends with her friends' parents.
They know who I am.
Kevin, the real question, are you prepared?
Yes.
Would you like the number? They have a nice QR code you can scan.
It's probably not a bad thing to think about.
Yeah. I mean, you never know when you're going to go, you don't know.
Well, for him, he probably won't have Social Security, so things could be harder for you.
Well, that's right, Kev.
You better prepare sooner.
You are going to be a maker, and Casey is going to be a taker, and I'll probably be somewhere in the middle. So, hey, Grandma, we're glad you're still with us, by the way. You're very well preserved.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm still with you, too.
Most people will not look at you and think you're 76 years old, but you're doing a phenomenal job.
I love it. I age a little bit. Like one day does equal a year here.
Isn't it weird how some people, you look at them and you just, like, you would have no idea what their actual age is on both ends of the spectrum. Like, some people, you look at them and you think, oh, they're 20, they're 25, and, they're 35 or 40. And then some people, you look at them and you're like, there's some girl I went to high school with, an elementary school with, and I looked at her and I was like, is that her mom? Like, how old is this woman?
Same age.
And I was like, oh, she's 40 like me. She looks 65 years old.
Well, you're evergreen, Rob Kendall.
Thank you.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Are you ready to put joint pain behind you and get to a place where persistent pain doesn't control your life? The dedicated orthopedic experts at Community Health Network are here to turn those goals into a reality. With personalized treatment options that include robotic-assisted surgery, we'll help you feel your best so you can get back to enjoying your hobbies again. Learn more about your care options at ecommunity.com/ortho. Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Press 1 for balances. Press 2 for deposits. Press 3 to scream into the void.
We get it. These days, it's all phone menus and chatbots. But business banking doesn't have to be that way. Bank with Horizon and discover the power of real AI, advisor intelligence. Real people who answer calls, know your business, and go above and beyond to help you succeed. Get started today at horizonbank.com/businessai.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Do you need furnace or heat pump service? You need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling? We'll find that independent American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers studios, where a fatal shooting broke out just before midnight last night. The charges a man from Connorsville is now facing. How much rain and how cold it'll get leading into Halloween on Friday, and how the Pacers' new guard is feeling after his first day of practice with the team. Those stories and more next. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
It's going to get worse. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the Senate's Republican leader says about the government shutdown now in day 29. He blames it on Democrats.
They're looking at this like it's some sort of political game.
Senator John Thune also tells Fox President Trump's willing to negotiate with Democrats on health care provisions they demand be included in funding.
But not while they hold the government hostage.
That's why Democrats say the shutdown is Republicans' fault for refusing to negotiate now. And as the standoff continues without end, federal workers remain unpaid, including those who have to keep working. And as Fox's Kristen Goodwin reports, another problem's looming.
Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins telling Fox's America Reports the department doesn't have the money to continue funding the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP.
We have enough money to get us through the end of October.
More than 20 states dispute this, arguing not releasing the funds already approved by Congress violates federal law and risks roughly 41 million Americans in need going hungry ahead of the holidays.
There is a contingency fund with billions of dollars. That's the well that is supposedly dry.
That's California Attorney General Rob Bonta, part of a lawsuit trying to force those funds to be used for federal assistance. At least 3 deaths reported in Jamaica, where they keep assessing the destruction that after Hurricane Melissa hit is one of the more powerful storms ever.
It was nerve-wracking, but I knew I had to stay strong for the family. We have 12 people here.
Peter Kong lives in the U.S. but was there visiting, wrote out the storm in a hotel, and says trees are down everywhere. And while his group is okay, he also just told Fox,
I am from here, so we still have family members in St. Elizabeth and Clarendon that we're not hearing from right now. So we're kind of worried about them.
Melissa's now hitting Cuba. The Bahamas are next for the hurricane. It's late at night where President Trump is.
We had a tremendous meeting today with South Korea.
He says they nearly finalized a big trade deal. Late tonight, American time, the president will meet with China's leader, trying to ease their high tariff trade tension. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
I've identified the victim in a suspect. Cloudy and 49 on Monument Circle. Cloudy skies all day with rain at times. The high today at 53. More on the forecast coming up. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:02. IMPD Captain Rob Ryder says a domestic situation between a man and a woman at a home on the near northwest side of Indianapolis late Tuesday night led to gunshots and the woman killed.
Seek help. We have domestic violence advocates. We have the Julian Center. We have other resources we can help you with. Don't get to a place where this happens to you.
Officers responded to the home on West 34th Street at around 11:45. Soon after, they located a man matching the description of the suspect about a block away. He was taken into custody, later identified as 38-year-old Stephen Baker Jr. IMPD is now talking to witnesses to the shooting. Officers are also looking into a shooting from Tuesday afternoon that happened on a bus with about half a dozen people involved. A Connorsville man is charged with crimes against children. Johnette Cruz reports.
Federal authorities have charged Mikkel Shepard, a photographer and owner of Shepard Photography in Connorsville, with multiple federal crimes, including sexual exploitation of a child and possession of child pornography. The investigation began after a report from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which flagged over 1,400 explicit files in Shepard's Google account. A search of his residence uncovered explicit images and videos produced by Shepard in both professional and personal settings, with victims including male and female children as young as 9 months old. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Southern Indiana may see some scattered showers today, but forecasters say it won't be enough to ease the state's dry spell.
Northern portions of central Indiana are in severe drought, and it would take several inches of rain to get them out of that. Farther south is less of a drought, so it would take less rain. And the rain we're seeing today would be not much of anything. help the drought.
Forecaster Chad Swain at the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says Halloween night should be breezy and dry with temperatures around 50. And new Pacers guard Mac McClung practicing with the team for the first time on Tuesday. He's suiting up tonight as the Pacers face the Mavericks in Dallas. McClung spoke about what he's learned about the Pacers system so far.
Yeah, I mean, I love to play fast. I've always played fast in my life, so it's been great. And just getting to know people. I mean, this business, man, you never know where you're going to be. I've been in a lot of different places and almost every other year, so it's just cool seeing everybody and being a part of the team.
McClung was previously intending to play G League basketball in Chicago when he got the call from the Pacers. Tonight's tip-off is at 8:30. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level on the go and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with a free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
This hour powered by Stevenson Heating and Cooling, your American Standard Air dealer, serving Johnson and Morgan counties.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
You know, if you're going to say mean things about people,
yeah,
and then that person's proven right, you should give them an apology.
Don't hold your breath.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like
apologize, admit the mistake, take corrective action.
Well, it seems like if you had integrity, that would be the thing to do.
Oh.
And yet, here I am sitting here at 10:06, and I've yet to receive an apology from the lieutenant governor for the, very unkind way in which he handled and his orbit handled our statement that has now been proven completely correct that there is a grand jury that is investigating his office. And I feel vindicated, but thus far, if you had integrity, if you were about honesty and decency and, setting an example for people, which he's supposed to do as a pastor, you'd think he would come out and say, you know what, Rob and Casey were right. I'm very sorry that I handled that the way I did. And we'll cooperate fully with the grand jury investigation, which is now clearly taking place, as we've told you for months it was.
Yeah, so a Marion County grand jury investigating allegations of ghost employment and the distribution of intimate images within his office. I want to talk about the ghost employment, if we can, for just a moment.
And by the way, you assume everybody knows, but at this point, Lieutenant Governor is Micah Beckwith. That's the name of the lieutenant governor.
Correct, from the Braun Beckwith administration.
That's right. He loves to hear his name, and so we want to make sure that everyone knows Micah Beckwith and his office are apparently under investigation, according to the Indy Star and numerous other outlets, by a Marion County prosecutor's office and grand jury. So since he loves to hear his name, we want to make sure everybody knows that's who's under the investigation.
So ghost employment refers to a form of payroll fraud where individuals receive a salary without performing any actual work or duties for the organization. A common example, a government employee uses work hours to perform tasks unrelated to their official duties.
Oh, so like you might, let's just say you were doing, opposition research on a politician, right? And you were doing that on your state time, and then somebody found out you were doing that, and I'm not saying this happened. I'm saying theoretically that could be the ghost employment if you're doing clearly political activities on state time. And, I'm not saying this happened, but like if you were a dumbass and you put it somewhere where people could see what you were doing and when you did it, then that could be conceivably could be ghost employment.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Just to make sure everybody knew what was going on here. So, look, this is way bigger than just whatever they may be looking into right now. It's way bigger than whether we were right or not. We were right. We knew the whole time we were right because I know people who have talked to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, and they all can't be lying to me. So it was just utterly ridiculous this wasn't going on. What it is about, and the thing everybody needs to recognize, is a repetitive pattern of lies and deception, and then villainizing people who dare criticize or speak, in this case, the truth about Micah Beckwith. That's what we get from this guy and have gotten from this guy since he took office over and over and over and over again. And this hits especially hard for me, Casey, because I vouched for Micah. To a lot of people who are very skeptical of Micah. And they're very skeptical of Micah for a variety of reasons. And I never do this with politicians, but I had known Micah for the past, well, it'd be 3 years before he decided to run. He had publicly, privately espoused all of these things that he wanted to get in there and make a difference and be a person who's going to fight for the people. And look, this has gutted me because I considered him a personal friend, and to see what he has become. Now, look, the audience will always be more important to me than any politician or even any friendship, because the people depend on us to give them the truth every single day. And unfortunately, that means when we're wrong about something, look, we get a lot of stuff right. We get a lot more right than we get wrong. But in the case of Micah, I was wrong and stuck my neck out for him, vouched for him to people, told everybody he was going to be different. And not only has he not been any different than the rest of these people, in many cases, he's been worse. And that's why I said, look, always hear from people, oh, Rob never says what he's for. Rob always just talks about what he's against. I took a big risk outside my comfort zone and publicly came out to support the governor and Micah because I wanted property taxes fixed for the people. I wanted them to be able to afford to live in their homes. And quite frankly, I don't normally do this, but I bought their line of bullcrap that they were going to be better and different. And so I own my stake in this by telling people that they could trust Micah, by telling people they could support Micah, and he would be a voice if Braun got sideways that would stand up. And reality is, Micah's probably the biggest grifter of them all. He's a habitual, pathological liar. He's a total fraud. And it breaks my heart to know that in some shape or capacity, somebody might have voted for Micah and Braun based on my recommendation. But I have too much respect for you, the listener, to act like this stuff isn't happening. And that's why we've been telling you it's happening. We lay it out for you, and it's all been proven true here today.
So as of yesterday, the Marion County Prosecutor's Office confirmed that no charges have been filed, and they have declined further comment. Somebody else who has not commented is the governor.
Yeah, he's
the Braun Beckwith administration.
He's a real gutless weasel, isn't he? And they've known all this stuff is going on, too. And as usual with Braun, he just puts his head in the sand and hopes it's going to go away. Look, this is not even about this issue. Whatever they're looking into, look, a grand jury does not mean an indictment, and an indictment does not mean a conviction. This is why this has all been so infuriating to me, that Micah has kept up this me so stupid routine for so long, and him and his orbit try to villainize people who are stating the obvious. If I know, it ain't my life, I ain't involved in this, and if I know people who are giving information, then if it's your life, wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you be spending every waking moment trying to figure out what's going on? If someone told you, hey, Casey, the prosecutor's looking into you.
Well, when you have Representative Craig Haggard confirming that he was interviewed by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office.
Sure. It's a pattern of lying. It's an American Greed, the TV show, those guys that are featured on there, level of, it's habitual in nature. We've caught him in how many lies over the past 10 months, and then it's always from him or his orbit that he's somehow the victim. It's somebody out to get him. It's somebody I saw yesterday. It's, they're coming after him because of his faith. They're coming after him because he's vocal about his faith. The Marion County prosecutor does not give two cares about Micah's espoused belief system. They don't have the time nor the effort that it is taking to do this, to investigate this, just based on some guy being a vocal Christian. There's a lot of very vocal Christians, and they ain't looking into them. They're looking into them because they apparently believe that they have enough evidence to pursue whether or not illegal activity was happening in the office of the lieutenant governor. It doesn't mean they're going to return an indictment. It doesn't mean it actually happened. But when you see the lieutenant governor and his orbit blatantly lying and deceiving about something so obvious, and how many lies did we catch him just on this? I come back to when he tried to claim he didn't know who Tom LaBianco was, the guy who broke the original AI porn story. Well, Micah had spent an entire day with the guy. Either Micah has some serious brain trauma, or he's just blatantly lying. I'll go with the latter. He tried to claim that he hadn't heard about this story until LaBianco contacted him. LaBianco told us very specifically, no, Micah told me when I contacted him, he'd heard about it from someone in the treasurer's office. Again, either Micah's suffering some sort of serious brain trauma or he's lying. I'll go with the latter. We caught him on how many lies on the car. I come back to what I think is one of the biggest issues of all that for some reason didn't get nearly enough play in the media, which is that Micah and Diego, two of the highest ranking officials in the entire state of Indiana, showed up at Game 3 of the NBA Finals accepting a lavish gift from a high-profile known felon. And Micah can't tell a coherent story or a consistent story on how that happened. Are you sensing a pattern here? It's lie after lie, deceit after deceit, conflicting statement after conflicting statement, and somehow yet it's never his fault. It's never his fault. It's always somebody out to get him. It's always some boogeyman. He never steps up and takes responsibility.
Now, you mentioned something interesting because grand jury has subpoena abilities. And you had mentioned the Treasurer Department. So how wide is the scope going to go?
Well, no idea. I mean, they're going to look into whatever they're going to look into. I'm sure they'll take their time on it because it involves the second highest ranking official in the state of Indiana. And look, as Hoosiers, we should all want them to look into this and say nothing happened. It would be disgraceful if they find some level of criminal behavior. So we should all, as Hoosiers, hope that ultimately they look into it and go, hey, no criminal activity took place here. We investigated it thoroughly. We can't find any proof of this AI video. Everybody, but I think the AI video is like number 9 on the list of things they're looking into. But my point is we all have a vested interest or should be cheering for them to find nothing. But whether they find something or not, we have now checked off several more lines in the Micah not being honest pattern of behavior. And that is unacceptable from someone of his position, not only Casey as lieutenant governor, but also as someone who leads a church.
So it's a good time to remind everybody that just because there is a grand jury doesn't mean they will subpoena anything, doesn't mean they will indict on anything, and that doesn't mean they will charge on anything.
Absolutely not. But that's why it's so stupid that he's lying about all of it. It's why it's so stupid that he gives these ridiculous conflicting statements. If you're telling the truth, you don't have to remember what you said. If you're telling the truth, you don't have to remember what you said. And repeatedly, he can't tell the same story to people because it ain't the truth.
It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Kendall and Casey.
My mom is still receiving Social Security from my father.
Legally?
Yeah.
I don't think they just give it to your family.
No, your spouse can still get it.
Really? I put if you pass away, you know what the next thing that came up?
Did it autofill?
Who gets your Social Security?
Okay, what's the answer?
The main beneficiaries are usually the surviving spouse, children, or dependents.
So I was right.
Eligibility?
Say it!
Maybe.
Oh, say I'm right.
Kendall and Casey, weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swingco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swingco 317-407-1868 or swingcollc.com.
An official message from Medicare.
Medicare plans change from one year to the next. And this year, it's important for you to review your current coverage and compare all your options during Medicare open enrollment. Compare health plans, drug coverage, and costs. See if you can save some money, and don't forget to make sure your drugs are covered. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey guys, it's Rob for our friend Mark Deedle. You know, Indianapolis real estate market is strong but not easy. Now is a good time to sell, only if you hire a real estate team that knows how to aggressively market your home like Mark Deedle Realty. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Neil in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Deedle. I'd already moved and listed my old home with an agent friend for 60 days. Not happy, I decided to evaluate the Mark Deedle marketing plan, and I switched. To my relief, after about 15 days on the market, the Mark Deedle team sold my home as is for the price I needed. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
When it comes to your home, it's important to sell it to someone you can trust.
Simple Quarters never tried to change their offer at any point during the process. Once they gave me that offer, it stood. The offer was absolutely fair. They did explain to me how they came to that price, and it was a fair offer. The best part about this process is I didn't have to make any repairs to the house. Simple Quarters has taken it as is, which is a huge stress relief.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
You got to know when to hold 'em. Oh, yeah. Know when to fold 'em.
This is fascinating.
Know when to walk away.
Our old pal Indy reporter has been up late last night doing some sort of research. If you're into Indiana politics and government, it's a fascinating account at Indy_reporter_. I don't know what the guy does for a job. He just always seems to be digging into governmental documents. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he comes up with stuff, and I'm like, that's fascinating. And sometimes it's like, I think you might have wasted a lot of your time. But he found something here, and everybody, it's a very entertaining account. That is blowing me away if this is indeed true. So, obviously, and by the way, you notice how this story has gone away, the audit of the IEDC?
IEDC. Well, yes and no. Just yesterday, Governor Mike Braun from the Braun-Beckwith administration, he appointed Josh Richardson, Commissioner of the Department of Workforce Development, as president of the IEDC. And also with the big announcement was that they want to rebrand Indiana back to the Crossroads of America.
Yeah, and
important stuff.
By the way, IEDC is Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Mm-hmm. So Andrew Ireland, he is euphoric about renaming the stupid signs, but not a word from Andrew Ireland that I've seen about the massive the audit of the IEDC, which revealed massive conflicts of interest and abuse of taxpayer money. But he doesn't have a word about that. But he is euphoric over those stupid street signs, or whatever they're called, highway signs.
Well, let's consider how much is it going to cost now. Are they replacing the signs?
Well,
now, the state signs?
They would have to, wouldn't they?
They're going to make a new Crossroads of America? I mean, I can appreciate the fact that Andrew Ireland went all in on that, and now it's happening, so...
Sure. Hey, Andrew, maybe you could say something
Go
about
all in on the audit.
The hundreds of millions of dollars of basically what amounts to corruption taken from us and given to Uber-connected people. Maybe, Andrew, you could say something about that because, well, what has it been? Almost a month now since this audit came out, which revealed this just horrible behavior from people inside the IEDC and what they were doing with taxpayer money. And then Braun... look, I'm convinced Braun's not playing with full deck anymore because he came out and said, well, it's going to the Inspector General to review. Okay, fair enough, but no criminal wrongdoing. Well, now you've just tainted the investigation, idiot, because that's the Inspector General's job, is
to determine that
and refer stuff to law enforcement for further investigation. But now you, sir, have already tainted, and it raised everybody's eyebrows. They're going, wait a second. What's going on here? Why would the governor, even if he doesn't have all his faculties anymore, he must know enough to know that if you say no criminal wrongdoing, but then you're giving it to somebody to review for that, you're tainting the investigation. And so a lot of people have, when you couple Braun's quickly, he's like John Candy in Vacation. Hey, park's closed. Moose outside should have told you.
Right.
Or Leslie Nielsen, a Naked Gun. Move along here. Nothing to see. And everybody's like, well, there's a lot to see. There's hundreds of millions of dollars in conflicts of interest and what appears to be abuse of trust, and then you couple that with almost none of the Republican members of the General Assembly who have allocated this money, by the way, to the IEDC, have said a word about it. And now it's basically just gone away, which is exactly what we said would happen. People said, well, what is going on here? How did this story just simply go away? Why aren't people outraged and demanding to hold the IEDC accountable? And then our old pal Stephen Whitmer over there at Indy Reporter found this, which is very interesting. So one of the major issues with the IEDC is that they partnered up with this nonprofit called Elevate Ventures. And Elevate Ventures, it appears, basically took flyers on startup companies using taxpayer money that, for some reason, I guess couldn't get money from banks, which should be a giant red flag.
They needed taxpayer money.
That people who are in the business of making money didn't believe in these people. But they get in bed with this Elevate Ventures, who hands out this money to all these startups. Now, multiple reports have come out that Elevate Ventures, I guess, has not paid all the money back that they owed as a part of these loans. They have more loans that are due. That's been covered at length. And so it appears to be a colossal, horrible decision for us, the taxpayers. Yet Elevate Ventures has...
Like we made that decision.
I'm saying, it's a horrible, the rate of return. I mean, like, if you were a bank, somebody would be getting fired over this. But nothing appears to be happening with the IEDC or Elevate Ventures. And then Stephen, an Indy Reporter, comes up with this in his research. Now, he's claiming a guy by the name of Larry Garatoni, I think is how you pronounce his last name, Garatoni. Garatoni. Yeah, I was trying to make that O and that N getting it together. Anyway, Garatoni is a board member with Elevate Ventures.
Correct.
This is according to the Indy Reporter account. He is a major GOP donor. According to Indy Reporter, he donated $25,000 to Governor Braun last year. Between 2021 and 2024, he donated $487,000 to Republicans.
Correct. Now, not saying that there's anything wrong there, but the optics are interesting.
Well, yes, you're on this board that has apparently failed the taxpayers miserably. There's an audit about the IEDC. Nothing appears to be happening. Your company or this nonprofit is basically given a free pass in all of this. And oh, by the way, according to Indy Reporter, this guy has given who's on this board has given hundreds of thousands of dollars to Republicans over the last 3 or 4 years.
Correct, $500,000 even.
So yeah, it just raises more red flags that I'm sure will be totally ignored by the governor. And heaven forbid somebody in the media asked the governor about if he did indeed accept this donation from this guy, and if that had anything to do with Elevate basically getting a free pass in this, despite by all appearances to reasonable people not following through on what they pledged to the taxpayers.
Do you find it interesting that the first big announcement about, we've named a president, oh, and by the way, we're changing the road signs?
Yeah.
Does that seem like deflection to you?
Well, it's what they do on everything.
Like, pay attention to this. This is fun.
Why are they doing the redistricting? They want people to get ginned up over that so you won't pay attention to their colossal abuse of the finances of the state of Indiana. But I do want to give credit to the Indy Reporter account, because this is the stuff he does all day, every day. He just lives in this world, and stuff like this, if indeed it's true, is very valuable information to the public to have, because these are the people that are tightly wound into our state government in what is a very controversial now organization. So good job for him finding all that.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They're still trying to reach a deal. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:30. Here's what's trending this hour. The government shutdown continues into day 29 as Vice President J.D. Vance meets with Senate GOP leaders on Capitol Hill. This as a 13th vote to reopen the government failed in the Senate, with a fast-approaching deadline to get a deal done or risk millions of Americans losing food assistance payments.
Democrats are blasting the administration for not tapping special funds to cover SNAP benefits. However, the Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, says her department does not have access to that money. Federal workers are now going to food kitchens in Washington, D.C. That bothers Pennsylvania Democrat John Fetterman. He has been one of the few Democrats who has voted to open the government.
Pay these people, open things up. I don't know why we're in this situation.
The shutdown is on a collision course to become the longest shutdown ever, this time next week.
Fox's Chad Pergam reporting. Democrats want the funding bill to also include an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies. Election Day in New York City, just under a week away. The latest Suffolk University poll still shows Democrat Zoran Mamdani in the lead with 44%. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has partially closed the gap, now trailing Mamdani by 10 points. Cuomo told Fox Business's Mornings with Maria there's a growing civil war in the Democratic Party.
I believe that far left will destroy the Democratic Party. I believe it will destroy the Democratic Party nationwide if that far left becomes dominant.
Cuomo has earned the endorsement of current New York City Mayor Eric Adams and former New York Governor David Paterson. Mamdani, meanwhile, has earned endorsements from current New York Governor Kathy Hochul and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Also in New York, the commissioner of the NYPD says they're getting their security in place for the New York City Marathon coming this weekend. More than 55,000 runners and 2 million spectators are expected this Saturday for the marathon. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on.
Fall is in full swing at Wilson Farm Market. Bright mums, pumpkins, and gourds are waiting to bring color to your porch and table. Enjoy a fresh apple cider slush or Wilson's famous peach cider slush. The taste of fall in every sip. Inside, the ovens are busy with breads, pies, and treats you'll smell the moment you walk in. Hungry yet? Grab some crispy fried chicken or stop by the deli, salad bar, and cheese counter for easy meals to take home. Wilson Farm Market, right off US 31, just north of Westfield. Your fall favorites all in one stop.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson. Is your furnace ready for the winter? Give us a call, 317-557-8532.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your independent American Standard air dealer.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
The government is still shut down?
Is that correct? Didn't
Well,
they
I'm
have
asking.
they have their 13th vote? Still can't agree?
This
Yeah.
is
A couple more days, it will be the longest ever.
our government is a joke, right? Now they're voting to pay people who aren't working. They're fighting over whether we should pay people who aren't working. It's like, if you're going to pay them, why wouldn't you just have them come back to work? Oh, these people, it's the Essential Workers Act. It's the All Workers Act. Like, we are run by clowns.
So some members of Congress requesting their salaries be withheld during the shutdown.
Oh.
And one guy has gone so far that he's working to suspend the paychecks for members of Congress during the shutdown.
If you didn't do your job in business, you didn't get paid. You don't show up and do your job, you don't get paid. Why are we getting paid? We shouldn't get paid if we don't do our job. We need to figure out how to work together to get our budgets done. It's as simple as that.
So you're going to offer legislation to not get paid during shutdowns?
Absolutely. I already have a bill. We've got a bill that we don't get paid during the shutdown. Ron Johnson's got a bill that we'll never have shutdowns. That should pass also. But on top of that, what are the Democrats doing? This is a clean resolution. All we're doing is keeping the funding. Actually, the funding is too high. It's still the Biden funding. But I don't want to shut down government, so I support it. But the Democrats, they want to shut down for whatever reason. How is this good for the country? Nobody wins with a shutdown.
Senator Rick Scott.
Okay, that was Rick Scott. So finally, that is the first person. I don't know if he was a Freudian slip or slip of the tongue, moment of lapse of judgment. He is the first person that I have heard finally admit out loud that all they're doing is continuing to fund Joe Biden's government. Which, if they wanted to end the shutdown and win the American people, that should be their talking point, is that we are continuing to fund the very government that these people all voted for the Democrat president of the United States. Now, they won't do that because the Republicans, theme of the day, Republicans being habitual liars and deceivers, don't want to admit that's what they're doing because they lied to you again last election and promised to get the spending under control. But the biggest thing they have in their defense they won't use, which is all they're doing is funding Joe Biden's government.
So now you've got the USDA saying they don't have the $9.2 billion that they would need to keep SNAP benefits from running out. And that's going to happen unless the Democrats vote to end the shutdown. And food stamp recipients aren't going to receive their benefits beginning Saturday. And
How about the IRS? Is the IRS closed? Can they not accept our taxes during the shutdown?
You know what? I'm not sure about that.
What do you want to bet the IRS is still open and fully functioning? That that they are still auditing people and still doing investigations into people? What do you want to bet the IRS didn't make the list of things that shut down and they can't provide service anymore?
Yes, the IRS is partially open during the government shutdown.
Of course it is.
They say many services are limited.
Yes.
But yeah, you can still give the government your money.
Yeah, boy, you notice they didn't shut that one down now, did they?
About half of IRS employees are furloughed right now.
Yeah, but I bet the ones that are doing
You can still file electronically, Rob.
Yeah. Right.
You can always do that.
Utterly, the whole thing is ridiculous. Both sides are completely disgraceful, and just everyone should be ashamed of everyone.
Now, something that is happening is people are selling their food stamps.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like, the real reason why a lot of people are upset about this whole food stamps, SNAP benefit thing, bro, is because they're selling their food stamps, bro. They're selling them. I'm telling you, they are selling their food stamps, bro. You know how many people in New York and other states right now are going to the corner store, the deli, and they're selling their food stamps, bro? They're selling, that's why they're getting like $4,000 $3,000 in food stamps and they're selling it for cash, they'll get $4,000 in food stamps and they'll just take like $1,000 in cash. Like, bro, like that's happening like everywhere. That's why they're mad. That is exactly why they're mad right now. And you know the thing about it too, they will never admit to selling their food stamps.
$4,000 in food stamps?
Well, that would I mean, would anything surprise you? I mean, like look, our government is just filled with waste and fraud and abuse. And I love the fact that we did the math yesterday, almost 13% of the American population is on some form of government assistance. And we just act like that's normal, and that's not normal. And I guarantee a huge portion of that group, not everyone certainly, there are many people in a country of 335 million that do need help, and we should help those people. But the people that are abusing this system, that are getting health care who can work, that are getting food stamps who can work, great. We'll find out. We'll find out how many people either want to starve or get off their ass and go to work, and a big portion of them should be getting off their ass and going to work.
So there's millions of hotel workers who are facing some uncertainty. The American Hotel and Lodging Association estimates that the shutdown cost the economy $31 million per day in lost hotel-related activity.
Isn't it disturbing?
Its tentacles are reaching.
Yeah, but isn't it disturbing how much of our economy is government-related? That kind of sounds very socialism-y to me. That
when they don't produce anything.
Right. The government is such a huge portion of our economy, and yet we're supposed to be a capitalistic society, but, oh, man, it's really going to destroy the American economy if we shut the government out. Like, logically, does that make any sense?
No. Now you've got some trade group organizations like the retail associations that are calling for the lawmakers to pass the clean funding bill. They say that they represent big organizations like Target and Best Buy, Home Depot, Dollar General, Walgreens. So now you have businesses that are weighing in on this as well.
Well, once the donations stop rolling in, that's what will get these lawmakers' attention, because that's what they live for. That's almost all these people live to get reelected. And so once the checks stop showing up to them, that's when you'll get their attention. In the meantime, it's all just dinner theater. They don't care. They're getting paid. They're still the congressman or the senator. They're fine. Once they stop being fine, then they'll get to work and get this figured out.
So the National Air Traffic Controllers Association president, he was demanding yesterday that they end the shutdown.
Day in and day out, that's now the life of an air traffic controller. The people tasked with making the impossible possible are having it made impossible by not paying them again. So the message is simple. In the shutdown today, there is no excuse that these hardworking men and women are showing up to do this job and to not ever know when they're going to get paid again. So we need America's help. We need you to stand up, and we need you to say enough is enough in this shutdown and ensure that we can move this forward, because we do not want to be up here telling you the sad stories. We want to be up here telling you how we're moving this system forward, how we're bringing in more air traffic controllers than ever, how we're modernizing this system to, serve the American people. So, again, cannot stress enough. If you want to take action, contact your congressional representative and tell them in the shutdown today.
Can you imagine you go to a job and, you garner the motivation to go in knowing you're not getting paid?
I asked my dad about this because he spent 20 years working for the federal government. I was like,
yeah.
Would you have, if they didn't pay you, I mean, when I say didn't pay you, you get paid in arrears, right? It's not like the people don't get paid. But I was like, if they didn't pay you, would you have showed up to work? And he goes, would have been my problem. Judicial branch is deemed essential. Ha ha, suckers!
Right. And who's deeming what is essential and what isn't?
Yeah. Well, and that's, he worked for the judges, so... but I did think that is an interesting. Now, I always thought part of what you sign up with your contract is you do have to do that. Like, that going in that this could happen. And part of the dealio with this is
if the government shuts down,
you don't get to not show up.
You still have to come in.
But a lot of people get sick conveniently.
Right.
A lot of people aren't feeling well, at the time.
A little tickle in my throat today.
Yeah, right.
Or would you be motivated to do, 100%?
Well, I mean, look, it's the government. You're going to get your money. I would hope you would have some level of knowing when you sign up for something what you're signing up for. And as a result, if I agreed to show up to work in a shutdown, I'll get the money eventually. I'm going to come do my job. I mean, I would like to, that's how I would handle it, but I get that there's a lot of people who out there who...
There are some people.
Not as dedicated as service.
Right. I've got a surprise for you.
Oh, how exciting.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show, more on the grand jury investigation into the lieutenant governor's office and the biggest stories in Indy, plus Tony Kinnett. 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Life doesn't stand still, and neither do your goals. At Busey Bank, we're here to help you move forward with the financial tools, local support, and expert guidance you need to take your next step. Whether you're growing a business, leaving a legacy, or saving for the future, you'll have a team that's ready when you are. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game with We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995.
Stuck in a job that just isn't getting it done? Maybe it's time to go for IT. Whether you're just starting out, switching careers, or a military veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you launch a rewarding career in IT in months. No prior experience needed. Why spend years getting a traditional degree when your future in IT can start right now? Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Your most powerful upgrade? Your career. Go for it. Go for IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Colts fans, get your game face on at the Ultimate Colts Tailgate at the Slippery Noodle. Sunday, November 30th at 9:30 a.m. Kick off your day with food, drinks, tailgate games, and nonstop pregame action. Rally with fellow fans, fuel up, and get pumped.
All right, this is going to be be like a good surprise.
Yes.
It's gonna be like
I
a
think you're going to be
surprise
tickled by this.
Where it's like, oh, great, I got
called for jury
some
duty.
Werther's Originals.
Not that kind
great.
of surprise. This is a very, very nice letter,
Oh.
and I want to share it with you. Kevin, this involves you too, so listen up, okay?
No, by the way, I should let everybody know, since it's a good letter,
Mhm.
I want to get all the credit for this. It's the Kendall and Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey.
Yeah. Now, I didn't tell you about this because, as our longtime listeners know, you don't open the mail.
No, that's right. Never.
You have me do it.
You're
This
going-
landed on my desk.
Oh, how exciting.
You were busy doing the sports podcast, so I read it.
You stole my mail.
And then I snuck it. I stuffed it in my desk so you wouldn't even see it.
The mail.
Well, it was addressed to all of us, and it was on my desk, and I knew you weren't going to open it.
Yeah, very good.
So I did.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Yes, let's do it.
Rob, Casey, and Kevin, in honor of the rising inflation rates and the endless flow of Arby's coupons Rob receives, I thought I'd cut to the chase and just send you gift cards.
Oh!
Lunch, dinner is on moi.
Whoa.
Maybe celebrate an early Lincoln Day dinner together and not wait until 2026 with the WIBC gang.
Uh-huh.
As a fan for as long as Rob has been on WIBC, going back to the Chicks before they left him.
Oh, the women.
Now, Casey is at bat and doing a fabulous job, and Kevin is the Uno guy that should be dating my 26-year-old daughter, but she lives in St. Louis. Too bad for her because Kevin is awesome.
Wow.
He's the best producer your show has ever had, I think, traveling the world one beer stein at a time. Wow. Casey, I love you. When you and the dude host, you married a great guy with a sweet disposition. I follow all of you guys and have met Rob a couple of times as well as Casey at the property tax rally.
Oh.
I'm as old as the Petri dishes on the lawn of the former Governor Holcomb's yard. Okay, seriously, Rob, since being on the air, you have taught me so much about local politics and how it works.
Oh.
Or should, but doesn't.
Right.
I appreciate your intellect and your determination.
That's so nice of her.
Don't give up hope because the people need you. We learn from you, and don't let others tell you to follow the rules. That's no fun, and life's too short. I've followed you since before you were married, and I'm so, so happy that you found an amazing wife and are now a father.
Oh, that's so nice of her.
She goes on to say that she adores WIBC and the talk radio people. She listens to the cast and most of the crew, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Katz, Ethan, Pat,
No,
and
get
his
back,
gang on the
get back to
weekends.
stuff about me. No, you were doing a good job. What happened?
She said, you guys are the best. I go through withdrawal when I can't listen and when I'm out of town, but I tune in on the podcasts.
That's so nice.
I know you don't like flying, Rob, but I'm excited about an upcoming trip she has with her husband. She's going to Antarctica.
Oh.
It's a bucket list for her. Love you guys. Ears to you all. Bon appetit. And that's from Sonia.
Sonia, yes, we love Sonia. She has been a fan of this radio station and this program forever. We love her. Thank you for that wonderfully kind letter.
Sonia sent all three of us gift cards to Arby's.
Oh,
nice.
What?
Yeah.
Are you? Let me get a look at that.
Yeah.
Hold those up for everybody.
There's three of them.
Oh, wow.
One for Kevin, one for Casey,
That is
one for Rob.
amazing. Our audience is the best.
Yeah, I thought that would make you happy.
That is wonderful, even though you stole the mail. I'm surprised you didn't pocket all the gift cards. Well, there was nothing in here, but, it was a great letter.
I'm an honest person, and that was very nice stuff that she said about all of us.
Look, that is so nice of her to do. And look, this is why that's why Casey and I do what we do for the gift cards. We're mostly in it for all the free stuff, the incredibly lavish lifestyle that we lead here at the radio station. But we know you're out there, and we know that you engage probably unlike any other show on this radio station. And we are happy to come fight for you every single day because you deserve it. And thank you for all of you. Even those of you who are too cheap to send us anything, we like
But
fighting
you know
for
what?
you as well.
We really appreciate the coupons, right?
Yes.
But gift cards, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
so awesome.
Unbelievable value.
Thank you,
and,
Sonia.
Yes, thank you very
Have
much.
a wonderful time on your trip.
Yeah, and bring us back something nice.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so did you see Gavin Newsom was calling out Joe Rogan? He was on CNN's debut episode of The Story Is with Alex Michelson.
If it's that hard to say, it's going to fail.
Yeah, well, it's on CNN.
Oh, The Story is the name of the show,
Mhm.
and Alex Michelson is the name of the host?
That's correct.
Okay, very good.
So, Gavin Newsom has been denied by Joe Rogan many times. He hasn't been on. And now Gavin Newsom says that, you know what, he's okay with that. He's moving on.
He won't. Look, he hasn't, for years and years, he's been attacking me, and it's one way, and he won't have me on. He's consistently not having me on. By the way, I'm moving on. I have no interest.
You're done with him?
Joe Rogan's the Facebook of podcasting. He was sitting across one of the brightest minds in podcasting right now. The guy was in the mic. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people at the mic doing extraordinary things in podcasting.
Joe Rogan's got a pretty big audience still, though.
You know what? But with all due respect, if he has a big audience but he doesn't have big enough confidence, I didn't go there, to have me on.
Well, you've called him a chicken.
But he's been attacking for... but here's the thing. These guys, they all have something in common. It's one way. They attack, they belittle, they demean, they take things out of context.
Yeah, okay, so what is the Facebook of podcasting? Let's think about that. I understand Gavin, he's trying to insult Joe Rogan. Facebook is still the most used social media platform, and it's located in California. It's a huge business, which he is the governor of the state of. Why would he do that?
Well, and these guys, like, there's a reason we don't have politicians on our show very often. They're boring. Like, most people turn the channel when a politician's on unless there's some super hot button issue because they're boring. And Gavin Newsom is boring. He is like made in a factory. He's Plastic Man. And I love the fact as though they believe they have some entitlement or some right to be on people's shows. And if I don't get my way, that I'm just going to come on here and badmouth you, and what Rogan's going to be sitting around going, geez, I sleep on my pallet of cash each night.
Right.
I'm very...
dump truck of money.
Very, very worried that Gavin Newsom doesn't like me. And oh my gosh, I'm just going to go, I'll show him. I mean, I love that he's cutting a wrestling promo on a podcaster and clearly so badly wants to go on that show, but then says, oh, I don't care. People do that with me.
I'll show Joe Rogan. By not being invited on his podcast, I'll go on CNN's debut episode of The Story Is.
Absolutely.
With Alex Michaels.
Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, nothing's going to get you fired up and attention. You could be on Rogan or you could be on that show that you can't even pronounce the name of. But like these politicians are the worst. They're insufferable and they're boring and they kill ratings. And that's why, for the most part, we just don't have them on.
So Governor Braun had something to say. And I know that you would like to comment on it.
Oh, which thing was it?
It was that tweet that was put out where he was sitting in the chair.
Oh, he's an idiot.
Lamenting.
He's an idiot.
On Main Street.
He is a clueless, delusional fool, and he has no idea how his job actually works.
We'll get to it coming up. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Mark Dietel, the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Neil in Indy had already moved and listed his old house with an agent friend for like 60 days. He wasn't happy. He decided to go with Mark Dietel. And after about 15 days on the market, Mark Dietel's team sold Neil's house as is for the price he needed.
Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert we trust and recommend on the Hammer and Nigel show. And it's the guarantee that separates Mark Dietel from the competition. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Nobody does it better than Mark Dietel. Contact him today, 317-755-4232. 755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $289 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license 249 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/2.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Drexel Interiors has teamed up with Mohawk for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A portion of October's Mohawk sales will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Visit either showroom or drexelin.com today.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, where a woman was shot and killed just before midnight last night. How shots ended up being fired at an Indianapolis bus stop Tuesday, the charges against a Carnersville man, and a check of the forecast for the rest of the day and into Halloween on Friday. Could we see more rain and colder temperatures? You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Back to Fox News, it's 11 o'clock.
Same old in Washington on day 29 of the shutdown. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Republicans cannot wave a wand and reopen the government on our own.
House Speaker Mike Johnson again urging Democrats to agree to a simple funding extension. Democrats say they still demand health care provisions be included in any funding. Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer tells Fox this would prevent some Obamacare tax credits from expiring December 31st.
I don't think any of us should be pointing fingers. I think we should just be finding a way to get through this, get the government back open, help people with those premiums, which are going to be up an average of 18% in the coming year.
Attorney General Pam Bondi's ramped up a Department of Justice investigation into the use of the auto pen during the Biden presidency after House Republicans called for executive actions, including pardons for criminal, be voided.
The scope of the DOJ probe is unclear, especially because in the past, presidential pardons were considered the final word on a matter. A Justice Department that tries to undo a presidential pardon would set a new legal precedent, no question.
Fox's David Spunt. It is officially tomorrow already in South Korea, just after midnight, where President Trump will meet after he wakes up with China's leader Xi Jinping to talk trade after negotiations with South Korea's president.
We made our deal. We pretty much finalized a trade deal, and we discussed some other things having to do with national security.
Hurricane Melissa is now being blamed for 25 more deaths at least in Haiti after a river flooded by the storm burst its banks. It's also blamed for 3 deaths in Jamaica and was one of the most powerful storms ever when it hit there.
All the trees right outside our balcony and, right outside our door, all of them's broken down, palm trees, everything is on the floor right now.
Peter Kong was visiting the island where he's from here in the U.S. Melissa's hitting Cuba and the Bahamas next. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
She's gone and he's arrested. Cloudy, 49 on Monument Circle. Rain in some spots. Today's high at around 52. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 11:02, and we now know the identity of the woman shot and killed late last night at a home on Indy's near Northwest Side. The Marion County Coroner's Office said 26-year-old Ashley Renee Sanders died from a gunshot wound. IMPD responded to the shooting call just before midnight. They then arrested 38-year-old Stephen Baker Jr. and say the shots came after the two got into a domestic dispute.
It's just really sad when relationships end tragically and violently. And if this is you, if you are in an abusive relationship, we ask that you call 911.
IMPD Captain Rob Ryder. Also in Indianapolis on Tuesday, a shooting on a bus at a bus stop. Here's what one woman said she saw.
They were arguing on the bus, and the gentleman, they were trying to de-escalate the situation, and then that's when the shots went off.
At least 2 people were handcuffed, but no one has been officially charged. At least 1 person was shot and is now in stable condition. Federal authorities are charging Mikhail Shepard, a Carnersville photographer who owns Shepard Photography, with multiple counts of sexual exploitation of a child and possession of child pornography. The investigation, which was launched after a tip came in from Google, uncovered over 1,400 explicit files. with some victims as young as 9 months old. Police say Shepard produced these images in both professional and personal settings. Scattered showers are expected across southern Indiana for today, but they won't do much to ease the ongoing drought. Ryan Hedrick has more.
You've probably heard that northern portions of central Indiana are in severe drought.
It would take several inches of rain to get them out of that. Farther south is less of a drought.
Forecaster Chad Swain at the National Weather Service, Indianapolis.
And the rain we're seeing today would be not much of anything to help the drought.
And Swain says a few raindrops are possible this weekend, but it should stay mostly dry with highs in the 60s. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC, Mobile News.
And the Indiana Pacers are in Dallas tonight, taking on the Mavericks. Tip-off is at 8:30 Eastern Time. Indiana looking for their first win of this young 2025-26 season. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Party people, it's Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel Show from my friends at Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct is on the north side of Indy, Keystone at the Crossing. It's right there by the Green Bridge. You can't miss it. And I'm telling you, the holidays are almost here. And guys, now would be the perfect time to get that home run gift for the holidays. At least start looking around and sizing things up. And nobody will help you out better than Diamonds Direct because they have the best customer service. It's not even close. Look, you get a lot of options in the jewelry game, but the customer service you get at Diamonds Direct, it's why I keep going back. Chris is my rep. She is a rock star. She's amazing. But no matter who you work with, they will help you plan that holiday proposal or get that amazing gift for the holidays. The biggest selection and the lowest prices. Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing. Tell them Hammer from the Hammer and Nigel Show sent you.
This hour powered by Stevenson Heating and Cooling, your American Standard Air dealer, serving Johnson and Morgan counties.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
My friends, I have a shocking and sad announcement.
Whoa, what's that?
And it pains me to make this.
Yeah?
Our governor is an idiot.
Are you talking about Governor Mike Braun from the Braun-Beckwith administration?
That's right. Hey, before we get to the governor, I mean, we'll just mention this very briefly because I know we spent a bunch of time on it today. But did you see that after months of us saying that the lieutenant governor's office was under investigation by the Marion County prosecutor's office in a grand jury, and them being totally defiant on that, and Micah Beckwith denying that that was happening, and then being very mean to people who were saying the obvious, which is many people had given information to Marion County prosecutor's office for the purposes of, assumably, it was going to go to this said grand jury, that has now come out that there is indeed a grand jury investigating, along with the Marion County prosecutor's office, the office of Micah Beckwith.
I did see that. Multiple news sources are reporting that.
And thus far, it is now 11:06. Now, we noted this at 10:06. A man who's supposed to be of integrity and taking the moral high horse and blah, blah, blah. Micah has not called me to apologize yet, which would be the,
Are you expecting that?
Well, it'd be the decent thing to do. It'd be the moral thing to do.
He wanted to go through the 3-step process.
Here's all he'd have to say.
Acknowledge the mistake, apologize, take corrective action.
Now, you tell me if any of this sounds unreasonable, Casey, and then we'll get to the governor being an idiot.
Oh.
By the way, it's Kendall Casey Show. Welcome to our program. This is basically what we do every hour. This is not new for us if you're new to the program. All he would have to do is call and say, Rob, you and Casey were absolutely correct that there is a grand jury investigating my office. I'm sorry for ever doubting you. I'm sorry for questioning the integrity of you or anyone who said this was going on. You guys were absolutely right. I stand by that we didn't do anything wrong. I welcome this investigation. I don't think they'll find anything. Sorry for doubting you or having anybody else doubt you.
Yeah.
Does that seem unreasonable?
No, but you're not going to get that.
Well, he's a man of integrity.
You're not going to get that.
Wouldn't that be the integrity-driven thing to do, since we all know the little games that he has played with people about me, about us, mostly about me, but about us, the way he's tried to vilify me to people. Maybe we'll do a segment on that coming up soon, of the things Micah Beckwith has said to people who he thinks are on his side. Maybe that'll be a fun segment we'll do coming up and talk all about the things Micah Beckwith has said to people who. And here's the other crazy thing about Micah making those ridiculously bold statements denying about the grand jury and what was going on. He has no idea who's given information to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. No idea. And yet he sat there looking like a complete dumbass over and over and over again, denying that this thing was going on. And it shows you what a habitual stone-cold liar the guy is if he's willing to do that when he knew it was going on. He absolutely knew it was going on. So maybe coming up in the future, we'll talk about things Micah Beckwith has said about me to other people.
Well, you had Representative Craig Haggard go on the record and confirm that he had met with the Marion County Prosecutor's Office.
Sure. And again, it's ridiculous because an investigation doesn't mean an indictment.
Correct. And an indictment does not mean charge.
And if he'd have come out and said that, look, we have ripped him over and over and over again because of the lying. If he'd have come out and said that and said, hey, they're looking into my office, I know what's going on, I welcome it, they ain't going to find nothing, have at it, how can I assist you? Then I'd have said, cool, we're done here. Get back to us when you're done with your investigation. But instead, as he does with almost everything, he does the half-truths, the just flat-out lies, the deception, the manipulation, the villainizing of anybody who calls him out. I mean, like, remember, because a lot of this stems out of the AI porn. Now, I think it's much bigger than that now. But a lot of this is related, apparently, according to these documents that Star has and others, that they're looking into this AI porn thing. Remember how he comes out and emphatically goes, we investigated, we didn't find anything. And the logical person goes, dude, that was a day ago. What did you do on a weekend? Who'd you call in? Crickets, right? And then he finally had to fess up. We didn't do any sort of forensic investigation. We didn't call any experts in. We didn't bring the state police in. We didn't have anybody hand over their phones. We didn't do any of that. So basically, he just sat his boys down and was like, hey, did you do this? Oh, no? Okay, cool. We done here. It's always just a speck of truth with him. Yeah, okay, he probably did ask him. Did you do it? No. Problem is, according to Aaron Sheridan, who was on this program, who was one of the whistleblowers on the AI porn allegations, was that the people who were allegedly viewing it said Micah knew about it. And she was very specific about that, was she not? So my point is with all of this, it's never the thing, it's the lying. And I take all of this very personal because at one point I considered Micah to be one of my best friends. And I went out on a limb for this guy and a bunch of people who didn't want to vote for him, who believed they saw that he was a skeezy, rotten dude. And for some reason, I bought it hook, line, and sinker and said, no, he's going to be a fighter for us. He's going to stand up for us. He's going to go to bat.
He said he campaigned on that.
Yeah, and I look back at this now. You know that we talk a lot about the TV show American Greed, and I love that show. And when they interview these people who are victims of these financial frauds, you know, one of the things they talk about is how compelling the person doing the swindling was, right? And it is exactly, while it's not a financial fraud or a financial crime with me and Micah, it's exactly what these people do on a lot of these American Greed episodes. They want something. In this case, it's money. They're incredibly compelling in their believability, the earnest nature in which they profess. And in the beginning, it all goes well. A lot of times people are still getting returns because they're getting them from other people, and so you're none the wiser to it. And then what you will see often is once the person becomes wise to the scheme, that's usually how these guys go down, somebody finally figures it out, right? Somebody's like, this doesn't make sense. And then they start looking into it. And they'll call and they'll question about it, right? And then once they start calling and questioning, they'll try to schmooze it over, right? They'll try to get you to think everything's fine. But once they can't suck any more blood out of you or take any more money from you, they just disappear. And in the case of Micah, that's what he did with me. He used me until he got what he wanted from me, which is a path to public office, which, let's face it, and I got to own this, he would not be the lieutenant governor right now if it were not for me. He would not have gotten that through that convention if it weren't for us. And I did it because I so badly wanted to fix property taxes in this state for millions of people that are in danger of losing their homes potentially.
Well, you wanted somebody to hold people accountable, and he said he would do that.
Yeah, and he told me over and over again, publicly, privately, I want this, brother. I want to be the guy that's going to come in there on a whole bunch of things and bring the smoke for the people. Now, in hindsight, it wouldn't matter anyway, because whether Micah was in there or Julie McGuire was in there, the same stuff was going to happen. Like all these people are like, this is your fault. No, it's not my fault. First of all, no one held a gun to your head and forced you to vote for anybody. You did that of your own volition. But it wasn't going to be different. Ron was going to be the governor. It's going to happen. But I take all of this, it hurts me deeply because I never vouched for anybody because I think they're all crooks and con men. And this is the one guy that I believed because of, what I had seen or what he had said to me for years. And he's the biggest piece of trash of them all. He's got in there and done absolutely nothing. He tried very briefly on property taxes. Then he just quit after Braun made his choice. And what's he done since then? He's just a traveling roadshow to the Pizza Kings, to the candy stores, jumping out of airplanes. He's a total fraud. He's a total con man. He's a habitual liar.
He's having a bad week.
Yeah, good. I hope he has a whole bunch more of them. Because what he is doing is screwing the people of the state. There are numerous people who have been caught in this. Look, I just lost a little bit of humility in the process, right? Or got taught a little humility out of this.
Eat a little crow.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm more than willing to do it because people know, and I did it when I figured it out. People know I'm here fighting for them every day. I made a mistake, backed the wrong guy. Happens. My heart was in the right place. But there's a lot of people that are in this Micah web of deception and lies and, I can't say that, BS that have been harmed financially. They've had to get legal representation because not because they're involved in it, but because they have given information. They've done the right thing. They've stepped up for their state. They've stepped up for their community. They've had to pay out of their own pocket. He knows all of this is going on. He knows the suffering that these people, some of them who have tried to help him to the end of the earth, all they tried to do was go in there and make his life better. And because he's such a rotten, miserable piece of garbage and surrounded himself with people who are same, he has ruined these people's existence, and yet he stood there. He had the audacity, knowing all this was going on, knowing this grand jury existed, knowing what the Marion County Prosecutor's Office is looking into, and he lied. He didn't flinch an inch that those people were suffering. He didn't flinch an inch that he was causing those people financial hardship. Nothing that happens to him could be too bad because he's a liar and he's a fraud. And look, I say this, I hope that they don't find anything. I hope that in terms of legality and the law, that everything that office did was above board. But it doesn't change. Whether they find something legally wrong or not, who that guy is, who he's harmed, the damage he's done, and he just keeps to keep living his best life. Well, everybody else, it's the equivalent of he took a dump in the middle of somebody's house and said, somebody better pick that up.
Well, we have to remind
we didn't even get to what an idiot the governor is. We do that next segment.
We can do that next. We have to remind everybody at this point, everything's allegations, and the grand jury may not indict, and even if they do indict, they may not charge. So this will be, as we remind our listeners all the time, things like this, they take time.
But you can bank on the lies will continue from Micah Beckwith.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show. It is 93 WIBC.
State 29 of the government shutdown.
93 WIBC.
Democrat demanding health care and other provisions.
South Korea honored President Trump.
What happens next?
With its highest civilian honor, the traditional crown.
Happens here.
Flare been fighting in Gaza.
I think it's going to hold a long time, hopefully forever.
Stay in the know.
The Israeli strikes killed 81 people.
While you're on the go.
In the form of fentanyl, killing tens of thousands.
IMPD believes the man and the woman got into an argument and then shots were fired.
On air, online, and on Alexa.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Replace old floors before the holidays with Drexel Interiors and get a free pad with qualifying purchase of new carpeting or luxury vinyl through November 15. Go to DrexelIN.com for details.
Well, from one habitual liar to another, Mike Braun's lips were moving again, and that means he was, on all likelihood, not telling the truth.
So there's this group, Foundation of Government Accountability, and they sat down with Governor Mike Braun from the Braun-Beckwith administration.
Whoa, what's the group?
It is Foundation for Government Accountability.
Well, why would they be sitting down with Braun?
They were asking him some questions. He said the founders would be completely dismayed by the fact that we're willing to borrow money from our kids and grandkids. In Indiana, we believe in balanced budgets, fiscal responsibility, and building a state government that's innovative, lean, and entrepreneurial.
Okay, so go back to the last sentence there, or whatever that would be.
What we believe here in Indiana.
Tell me what we believe in Indiana.
Balanced budgets. Because it's the law. You have to balance the budget.
Yeah.
Fiscal responsibility. And building a state government that's innovative, lean, and entrepreneurial.
Okay, well, first of all, again, he's either a habitual liar or totally clueless on his job because he's legally obligated to balance his budget. He can't print money. So either he doesn't know that or he's lying. I'll go with the latter. I think he does know that. What was the thing about fiscal responsibility? Is that right?
Yeah, fiscal responsibility.
So he just raised taxes by $1 billion to balance his budget because he couldn't pay his bills. So he took $1 billion from you. So is that fiscal responsibility that, hey, we couldn't pay the bills? Now, keep in mind, Indiana can't pay its bills because they blew down their surplus because they didn't want you to get your money back. So that, coupled with wanting you to think that they could shut down society and you wouldn't feel any ramifications for that, they threw money like it was going out of style. They spent billions of dollars, which could have been used to help in this moment, so he wouldn't have to raise taxes. Of course, they could just cut the government. This guy is just a...
You want to hear him? Let's hear him.
Whoa. Do I want to hear him or will I hear him?
You'll hear him.
Okay.
Kevin, roll it.
It's a pleasure to serve Hoosiers. I think the question I got asked most, because of what they saw me do as a senator, why would you leave? States that are run well are going to survive regardless of what happens in D.C. Businesses, households will too. I go back to what the founders intended, and it was not to have a country run by career politicians, but movers and shakers that made it in the real world. I'm just glad I'm in at a level where I think it's going to be most impactful.
He said that he didn't think the founders wanted a country that was governed by career politicians.
Well, he is a career politician.
There you go.
He went from school board. See, this is the BS, right? Because the guy wears a blue shirt and he had a business at one point. He wants you to think he's one of them. And the reality is the guy went from school board to state house to senator. He bought a Senate seat. And now he used that to become the governor. He's a career what do you call that? Like, it's exactly what all these other people do. And I'm so sick about hearing about his business. There's no way he ran his business the way he ran the state of Indiana. Our state is a dumpster fire under this guy. I mean, it's a disaster. Like, he has managed in 9 months to piss everyone off. Like, everyone is pissed off. The guys on the right, where we are, pissed off. People on the left, pissed. Like, he has managed to make everyone angry. He's so bad, he has managed to bring Rob Kendall and socialist Jesse Brown together in terms of, like, this guy is a disaster. I weep for our state. But, you know, it's just like with Holcomb. Yeah, they're bad, but they're just a symptom of the disease. Ultimately, in Indiana, the legislature's in charge. The governor can't do anything without the consent of the legislature. So all these things that are happening are the will of the General Assembly. So the Republicans are the real evil wizard behind the curtain on all of this in the General Assembly because they craft all the policies.
It's about a 3-minute long video.
Oh, jeez.
It's
Please don't.
It's nicely done. They've got some drone shots of the State House and downtown Indianapolis.
But did anybody ask him, hey, moron, how can you say that you're fiscally responsible when you just raise taxes by $1 billion? How can you possibly brag about balancing your? I mean, where was the follow-up? But, sir, you're required to balance your budget.
I want to play one more clip for you. Number 11, Kevin.
I ran as being the most accessible governor we're ever going to have and entrepreneurial. So I'm inviting input. Most of the great ideas I had running a business would not have been from a consultant. It would have been from my customers, my suppliers, my employees. And if you actually get them involved, they're going to tell you what to fix.
Okay, let's think about that. He says he got his customers involved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're the governor, who are your customers?
The taxpayers.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, what have the taxpayers asked the governor to take care of?
Property taxes.
Correct.
Utility bills.
Anything else?
Gas taxes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
IEDC?
Long list of.
It's another.
Go
Right.
to stamp out the government
There you
corruption.
go. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and don't you love, like, not to make this about us, but we're the perfect example of what a scumbag Braun is. So think about how he lied to me and to us for months, almost a year, saying, just like his little dweeb assistant Beckwith, hey, I'm fired up about property taxes. I want this. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to fight. You just stay with me and we'll get this done together. And then as soon as that failed, and I had the audacity to point out, hey, this guy lied, I was having conversations with those people all the time. In fact, the last person he talked to before he waltzed out and announced that horrible deal on property taxes was me. The last voice he heard in his ear was me begging him not to do that at the state party headquarters. I think I figured out why they made me meet him at state party. I think if you meet in the governor's office, it's subject to a public records request.
Oh.
No, not that it's a big deal. Like, I told people I was there. It's not like it, but I think that's why they do the meetings over there, because it's not I'm not saying like with me, but I think that's why they do them. Because apparently, well, never mind. I'll come back to that another time.
Maybe he just didn't want people to see you walking into his office.
Yeah, well. But my point is, the last voice in his ear was me saying, sir, please don't do this. This is going to be a disaster for you. And that was when I believed he was just naive and getting bad advice. Now I know he's just I almost did it again. He's just a lazy sack of garbage.
You're showcasing some self-control.
Well, I'm doing very well today. You admit you thought there was going to be at least one dump on today's show, and there hasn't been anything.
There's been a dump.
But what'd he do? He just cut off contact. He'll come on Tony's show. He's going on Hammer and Nigel this afternoon. Who'd he cut off contact with?
Yeah, us.
Me. Yeah, why? And why'd he do that? Because we're going to roast him and hold him accountable for lying to the people. And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want input from the people. Why'd he start sucking up to that little group of, I used to think they were naive, but now I think they're totally in on it with him, that group of conservatives, because and why were we suddenly cut out of it? Because he knew if he went to those meetings and he was peddling his BS, we would call him out on it. He doesn't want that. He wants people that are going to smooch his butt cheeks and go, oh, it was so great to be at the governor's mansion. He listened to us. He really cares.
It's interesting because he's eventually going to have to make a decision who he wants to be beholden to. The taxpayers, his base, the White House, the legislature?
But I think he's made the choice, which is he's incapable of making a choice. He tries to be all things to all people. I come back to his behavior on January 6th. Mike Braun was one of the loudest voices in the room screaming about the election irregularities, and we need to not certify the election, and we need to, I don't know if he used the term fight back then. Maybe that was just a lie for us. But what'd he do? As soon as those people got in the Capitol, he just turned tail and ran. Well, wait a second. If people are misbehaving, deal with them. But if you genuinely believe there's this mass fraud or irregularities in the election, what would those people being in the Capitol have to do with you just going, oh, didn't mean it, see ya, bye? That's who Braun is. And and he deserves it. And the greatest thing for our state, the greatest thing for all of us would be if Rod Bray, and I hate that I have to cheer or in any way support Rod Bray, but if the pro tem of the Senate on November 3rd walks in there and gives a big, shaky John McCain thumbs down and pulls the plug on this redistricting, and he tells Rod Bray tells Mike Braun in no uncertain terms, I am the captain of this ship, you are my you-know-what, and I'm in charge here, and we done. Everybody, go home.
Yeah.
I won't get that lucky, though.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $289 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, 249 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/2.
93 WIBC Mobile News, on the level, on the go.
A fight leading to fatal gunshots. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Police say they've arrested a man connected to the fatal shooting of a woman at a home on Indy's near Northwest Side last night, and that it all started from a domestic dispute.
Seek help. We have domestic violence advocates. We have the Julian Center. We have other resources we can help you with. Don't get to a place where this happens to you.
IMPD Captain Rob Ryder. A Marion County grand jury is investigating claims of ghost employment and the distribution of intimate images tied to the office of Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. Details remain sealed unless charges are filed. A Connorsville man is charged with sexual exploitation of a child and possession of child pornography. 22-year-old Mikkel Shepard is also a professional photographer. And scattered rain showers are expected in Indiana today, mainly in the southern parts of the state. Temperatures will be in the 50s with breezy days ahead into Halloween on Friday. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Hey guys, it's Rob for We Grow Hair Indy. If you enjoy this program, maybe you're listening saying, wow, Rob Kendall, he's got it all. What a radio program. And man, is his hair beautiful. What are you laughing at? I bet thousands of people say that every day. Anyway, the hair is great. And thanks to the fine folks at We Grow Hair Indy. And if you would like to look as beautiful as me, you can do it. It's very simple. 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Schedule totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. And then from there, Devin and the gang, they'll take a look at what's going on at the top. Darren and the gang, they'll take a look at what's going on at the top of your head and give you some recommendations on how they can make that a little better. Then the choice is yours. In the meantime, see some other folks who have made the choice to get their confidence back by heading over to WeGrowHairIndy.com. WeGrowHairIndy.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested, even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson. Need heating service in Johnson, Morgan, or Hendricks County? Give us a call, 317-557-8532.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your independent American Standard air dealer.
Well, you know, Case, government's a great grift if you can sink your fangs into it. And you got to give credit. Look, this is the thing I found when I was, for a very brief time in my life, involved in the government is, and one of the things that I was appalled by and had to get out of there, was these people who dedicate their lives to the grift. Like, they are there. These are people who couldn't accomplish anything in their real existence, and yet they have figured out that if they can worm their way into the government, they are set and on gravy train central. And no matter how bad they actually are at the government or how many times they get told to get lost or whatever, they will not give it up. See our Secretary of State. Let's review his track record, right? He was dismissed, paperwork shows, by the Secretary of State's office when he worked there. He somehow managed to come back, but then ran out of there before he was about to be dismissed again, the paperwork shows. Then went to work for Pence. Nobody really knows what he did for Pence. Then decided he was going to run for Secretary of State. Then when the person who he thought wasn't going to run for re-election decided he was going to run for re-election, instead of manning up and saying, I want this office, I'm going to fight for it, he cowardly quit, decided to run for Congress, did horrible in a run for Congress. That's when he voted in a county different from where he was taking his homestead credit, and then decided to run for Secretary of State again. That is some dedication to the grift, my friend, but it paid off for him. Look at the life Diego Morales lives because he would not give up on the grift. Look at this woman in northern Indiana, Jennifer Ruth Green, runs for Congress, bad candidate, loses. Somehow is able to worm her way into the Braun administration, and for her defeat when she ran for Congress, her reward for being rejected by the voters was, here's a $275,000 a year job. Despite being given life's lottery, she couldn't just sit there and be thankful. She had to play fast and loose with the rules, according to the Inspector General's investigation. And the Braun administration's own, what was that, improvement plan or whatever that they...
A PIP?
Oh, yeah, the PIP. Yes, the PIP. From the moment she got there, she started playing fast and loose with the rules. She gets bounced out of the Braun administration, and now, instead of just going, you know what, I've done enough damage to the taxpayers, I'm just going to go get a real job somewhere. Now Jennifer Ruth Green has sprinted out and announced she's running for Congress again.
Yeah, the PIP was the result because of, what they're saying were improper political activities, misuse of state property, ghost employment, also retaliation. And you're right, she was the former Indiana Secretary of Public Safety, but she has since launched her campaign for Indiana's first congressional district. She did that the day after Governor Mike Braun from the Braun-Beckwith administration called a special legislative session to redraw the maps. Okay, let's listen to just a smidgen of her campaign ad.
After nearly defeating far-left Congressman Frank Mervan in 2022, I'm ready to finish the mission. The stakes couldn't be higher. When we fire Frank Mervan and take back Northwest Indiana for the first time since 1928, Republicans will keep the House, and we'll stop radical Democrats from impeaching President Trump. In Congress, I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with our president to rebuild American manufacturing for middle-class jobs, fight for bigger paychecks and lower prices, support our farmers and rural communities, secure the border and deport violent illegal immigrants, back the blue, and defend the right to life and the Second Amendment. This isn't about
Okay, I'm gonna puke.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so let's clarify a couple things. What'd she say? She nearly beat him?
After nearly defeating.
Okay, so she lost by 5.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
She lost by more than 12,000 votes. It wasn't close. I think the guy who ran the last time, this past election, was basically the same thing. Okay, that's the first part of it. But think about this. So according to which source was it? I want to make sure I get this right. This is Fox 59. It was the Inspector General has accused Green, according to Fox 59, of violating the Indiana Code of Ethics 10 times in the couple of months that she was in that office. And what does she do? She just, like, these people, there is serious, I don't know what the diagnosis would be, but the behavior. Are you sensing the pattern, whether it's Braun, who just lies all the time and never thinks a thing about it, or Micah, who lies all the time or never thinks a thing about it, or this woman, right? A normal person with any decency or humility would be mortified by their behavior. They'd be like, man, I really had a great opportunity, and I blew it, and I let the taxpayers down, and I need to, like, kind of go think about this for a while and then figure out if there's a way I can make this right with people. She just sprints to the next grift, and she's not apologetic at all. There's no apology in that video. There's no, hey, man, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. You know, none of that. She just acts like it just didn't happen. And you notice with Micah, it just, they still won't come off. The spokesman acting like, we don't know anything about this. There's documentation is happening. Oh, grand juries are sealed. We don't know anything about this. Like, this is what these people do. They should not be allowed to roam out in decent society. They cause immense harm to the public at large, and there is something seriously mentally wrong with these people and their disconnect from how the rest of decent society behaves.
She called the allegations baseless and said that she would address evil with evil, and she said she's running to support Donald Trump, and she also emphasized the importance of Republicans
then why'd she
controlling
sign
the
the
House in
plan,
26.
Casey?
Yeah.
If the allegations were baseless, why did she sign the plan?
Don't know. Let's talk about the signs.
Oh, yes. Okay, so this article came out that said that the city of Fort Wayne is about to spend, let's see, who did this, by the way? WFFT, I think, is the news outlet. Yes, WFFT TV. That the city of Fort Wayne is about to spend $815,000 on welcome signs for I-69 and US 24 interchange. $815,000. What, you don't know you're in Fort Wayne?
Right. What did
the
the sign
GPS
say?
didn't tell you?
What do the signs say? Do they say Indiana for the bold? No, wait. Those are the signs that are being taken down statewide.
So we were led to believe that if you got property tax relief, that the police and fire departments would disappear. It's all over. You know, kids would all be in one-room schoolhouses. But this city has $815,000 to spend on signage for an interchange.
Wasn't it Allen County schools that were doing a referendum?
Oh, they got a referendum going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, them and Avon.
Okay.
By the way, I think they may have made a big mistake because I saw on the Avon County chatter board, I don't know if this is true or not, but people are really dumb sometimes. This could be true. They said I was going to vote against the referendum, and then you guys sent Beckwith out to knock on doors. Now vote for it.
Oh, yeah, that happened. That was the thing.
I really don't want that referendum passed, but that would be funny if he tanked the referendum for the no people.
Also,
$815,000 on a sign.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about how yesterday Governor Braun, he announced that Indiana is going to return to the Crossroads of America branding, and they're going to They're going to replace the current Indiana for the bold motto that's on the state signs.
Sure.
And it's like, you know, Governor Holcomb took down the Crossroads of America signs and put up the Indiana for the bold signs. And it's almost like if you see that brand, by the way, which is, IEDC's motto. IEDC's motto, Indiana for the bold.
No, it should be for the rich.
Right? Like,
it should say for the rich, because isn't that what they are? They're for the rich.
So
Let's just cross out bold and put rich in there, Casey.
If you just put that in people's face enough, they'll start to believe it. And we just want you to see the IEDC motto over and over again. You come into the state, and it might as well have just said, welcome to IEDC. Not welcome to Indiana, not welcome to the crossroads of America. Welcome to the IEDC. Because that's what they did. And now they're going to take all those down, and they're going to start integrating the crossroads of America back, which I'm happy with, but it's just more expense.
Because, Casey, if you're a multi-billion-dollar company, aren't you picking what state you're going to based on what the street sign says?
What the sign says? Yeah.
I mean, we were kind of on the fence, but that for the bold, we were out. But once the crossroads of America,
that really sold me.
It's not the money or the tax incentives or the abatements that did it for us.
No, it was the sign.
It's the street sign. All right, Abdul is with us next. We'll talk about the latest going on with our Lieutenant Governor.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show, more on the grand jury investigation into the lieutenant governor's office and the biggest stories in Indy, plus Tony Kennett. 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. Life Church has campuses all across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. Plus, they've got great online services. They would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. Now, we attend the Eagle Creek location, but see it for yourself. Learn about everything. It's on the web, lifechurchin.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Head online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
So the lieutenant governor is indeed under investigation, or his office is at least, by the grand jury. Let's go to one of the guys who's was one of the first people to say that was taking place. I hate to say these words, but you were right. Abdul Hakim Shabazz joins us now, owner-operator of IndyPolitics.org. Abdul, hello.
You know, as much as I like being right, I hate being right about the stuff I'm right about, because usually the things I'm right about are things that are really bad and really not good. And this is not going to be good. And I'm just waiting for the one person to say, what did the lieutenant governor know, and when did he know it?
Well, and, we talked about this a lot throughout the course of the program today. The thing that should be infuriating to people is not whether lieutenant governors or his office are under investigation by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, the grand jury. They are. We've known that for months. This is another example of blatantly dishonest and deceitful behavior, because everybody knew this was taking place, and yet he was so adamant and so forceful when he would get asked about it.
All I had to say was, I can't comment on any grand jury investigation. And what I can say is, if we're fully cooperating with law enforcement, we look forward to, if the type of investigation is clear our name, we always believe in maintaining the high moral and ethical standards of government, and we'll just see where it goes. But we did not do anything wrong, and we stand by Paul. That's all you got to say, and that's all you got to do. But that's not Micah's style. Micah is combative, and Micah loves a television camera, and Micah loves an audience. That I can respect. However, if you're going to love a television audience, you make sure the television audience loves you for the right reason.
Yeah, and again, if you're just new to the program today and haven't been paying attention, been hiding under a rock somewhere, the office of the Lieutenant Governor, Micah Beckwith, according to Indy Star and numerous other outlets here in Central Indiana, there is a grand jury looking into. We believe we know what it is, exactly what we've been saying it is for months now, which is the AI porn stuff, ghost employment, and again, a grand jury investigation doesn't mean an indictment. An indictment doesn't mean a conviction. We've never said any of that. We simply said this is going on. We know multiple people who have given information to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, and they were so forceful against that. You say, you look so deceitful and dishonest by not acknowledging the obvious.
But I got some time this weekend. I had to go through our WIBC archives and go back and find that Friday that Aaron Sheridan came in. The story broke on. We both did it.
So Aaron Sheridan was a member of Micah's office who alleges she was a senior advisor, who alleges that she viewed artificial intelligence pornography in the lieutenant governor's office. She alleged two individuals who were working as a part of Micah's office were viewing it and sharing it. She came on our program, shared that story in great detail. Also said that these two individuals said Micah was aware that the thing existed, and Aaron claims she told Sherry Ellis, Micah Beckwith's chief of staff, about this after it happened, and she did nothing. So I don't want to set up who that is. And so she came on this program, told that story in great detail, then went on with you with Indy Politics and told the story as well. Exactly.
And that's where things about the ghost employment came up, about people, not coming into work or filling out fake time cards, the whole nine yards. This is all what the grand jury is looking at right now. This is not saying anybody broke the law, but this is what the grand jury is looking at. And Beckwith went on Hammer Nights that afternoon saying, Aaron's crazy, she's a disgruntled employee, Rob and Abdul are blah, blah. No one reads, no one listens to them. I don't read their work, blah, blah, blah. Well, How You Like Me Now, I believe is a country song.
Yeah,
oh my God, actually quite a country song.
It's just like basic shoe leather work to figure out this stuff was going on, but it comes back to a reoccurring theme with Micah, where it's either at best deceptive behavior, at worst blatant dishonesty, and it goes back to things like, how did you end up at Game 3 of the NBA Finals with a high-profile known felon? He can't tell a coherent, consistent story. The stuff with the car that we caught him on numerous lies on. You come back to even this story where he tries to claim he didn't know who LoBianco was, the guy who broke the story, Tom LoBianco. Well, LoBianco spent a whole day with him before this story ever broke. And then, he tries to claim, well, I heard about the AI porn video from LoBianco. And LoBianco's like, no. Micah told me heard about it from somebody in the treasurer's office. Like, all of these things, the stories just don't add up. And you're saying, these are kind of easy things to remember. And if you're not being consistent or accurate on those, what else are you being inconsistent and inaccurate on?
You know what's the difference between Micah Beckwith and Diego Morales? About 2 inches and some hair. That's about it.
All right, so what do you think is going to happen now with this? Because, again, I've said it from the beginning. Does not mean anybody's getting indicted. Does not mean anybody's getting convicted. But what do you think the next step is now? Because this grand jury has, on multiple occasions, engaged as a part of this investigation.
Here's what I see happening next. It is November 3rd. Indian lawmakers are back. The Senate convenes. Micah Beck was at the top of at the gavel, called in the Senate. Just the look, I will be there because the look on everybody's face, their body language will tell me everything that I need to know.
All right,
and I can see, I can see a conversation like, we got to get rid of this guy.
But what they could do until he's convicted, in the state of Indiana, you have to be convicted of a felony in order to be removed from office. What can they actually do with the guy?
I'm doing some research on that this weekend.
Okay, very good. Real quick, you mentioned it. So speaking of Abdul as our guest, speaking of special session, that's going down, supposed to be going down Monday. We got into this on State House Happenings. It seems like the governor has forced Rod Bray's hand. It feels like, and I'm loath to ever defend Rod Bray, but it seems like the pro tem of the Senate, the leader of the Senate, it seems like he tried to politely tell the governor on numerous occasions,
don't do this.
Yes, don't do it. You don't have the votes. Don't make us do this. You're not going to like how it goes. The governor has now basically forced his hand. Will Rod Bray be willing to stand up to the governor and torpedo this thing, or is he going to fold?
I don't think Rod will fold. Because if Rod folds, then it's going to look even worse for him as Senate President pro tem. What I do think is going to happen is Bray's going to tell members, vote your conscience. I'm not going to strong arm anybody. Vote your conscience. He'll tell them, vote your conscience and be mindful of what your constituents want. And what are your constituents' priorities right now? What do we want to do next session? And also remember too, we're going to have this guy here for the next 3 years and change if he lasts that long.
Because they really are. Braun really is, and it's kind of funny to say this, but he's trying to almost bully the Senate into doing what he wants. It basically appears that he's saying, all right, well, you may say you don't have the votes, but let's see how you do when that board goes, green and red. It's time to pick a lever, right? Because that's how they vote. Reds are no's and greens are yes. And basically saying, well, we'll see if you got the stones to do it when everybody's looking. Now, guys like me, I would love to do it. I'd love to get up there and give a big John McCain shaky thumbs down in front of everyone. But he may have a point. Will these guys wilt?
I don't think they'll wilt. And I'll do fairness to Governor Braun. I will argue that this is not the work of Governor Braun.
Oh no, it's totally not. It's Trump.
It's not Trump either. It's Trump, but it's also another individual involved. The COS.
Oh, the chief of staff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who basically made some promises to the Trump people that we can get this done, and now they're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
So basically, because we've talked about this before as we wrap up this interview here, but if he was going to do it, he should have done it back in August. He should have said, we're coming in, we're going to vote it up, vote it down, it'll be what it'll be, and we're done here and we're moving on. If he was going to do it, but now he's strung it out for so long, he's given the other side time to mobilize. There's clearly fierce opposition to this, and he being Braun is in the worst of all worlds with this.
It's a no-win situation. Either you're damned if you do it, then you're damned if you don't. And this is what happens when you tie yourself to that Trump train and trying to please the big orange guy. Okay, that's fine, but you got to remember you still got your constituents here who have a lot of other concerning issues like energy, inflation.
Yeah, and Rod Bray don't care about Donald Trump because Rod Bray don't got to deal with Donald Trump. Rod Bray's got to worry about keeping a supermajority so that he can go kick his feet up at the end of the day and go, I can do whatever I want to do, and ain't nobody can stop me. So I think it's going to be fascinating. So if you had to say right now, will there be a vote? Will Rod Bray let it come to a vote, and will it pass?
Vote yes, pass no.
Okay.
I'd say easily by 10 votes.
Oh, so you don't think it'll be close?
No.
All right. Find them over at indypolitics.org. Abdullah Keeps Your Boss. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you, Casey. Great job as always. And same to Kevin. Most importantly, thank you to you, the listener. Without you, there is no us. Stick around, Tony Katz. Coming up next, Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
It's that time of year again. When the leaves turn, the days get shorter, and you hear a lot about Medicare open enrollment. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the options, you're not alone. Original Medicare, Advantage plans, Part D, Medigap, it's a lot to sort through. And making the wrong choice can cost you more than just your financial confidence. That's where Howard Bailey Financial comes in. At Howard Bailey, we don't just help you pick a Medicare plan. We help you make a more confident choice with your full financial picture in mind. Our team has licensed Medicare professionals backed by experienced financial advisors, all working together to help you retire with purpose. Get started by texting CARE to 888-494-5004 to speak with the Howard Bailey team and start your Medicare conversation today. At Howard Bailey Financial, we make Medicare simple so you can focus on enjoying the season, not stressing about it. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tony Katz to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Drexel Interiors has teamed up with Mohawk for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A portion of October's Mohawk sales will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. Visit either showroom or DrexelIN.com today.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
For Halloween, it looks dry.
I am from here, so we still have family members.
That story is so false.
They're found in a cardboard box on a sidewalk.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
That sky might look ominous at times. In fact, it's cloudy at the moment, 50 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, but it feels like 37. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 12 noon. Rain is expected across parts of southern Indiana today with calmer and cooler conditions moving in later this week. Ryan Hedrick reports.
Forecasters expect showers to taper off Thursday afternoon, giving way to cooler air and clearer skies.
Then for Halloween, it looks dry. It'll be a little breezy, not as bad as today or tomorrow. And highs will be in the 50s.
Chad Swain, forecaster at the National Weather Service Indianapolis, says scattered showers are expected in southern Indiana today. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Hurricane Melissa continuing to barrel through the Caribbean, leaving behind a path of destruction. Jamaica got hit the hardest by the storm, which made landfall Tuesday as a Category 5 hurricane. Millions endured the catastrophic impacts, getting hit with extreme winds and intense flooding. Peter Kong survived the storm, and he spoke to Fox's America's Newsroom this morning.
I am from here, so we still have family members in St. Elizabeth and Clarendon that we're not hearing from right now. So we're kind of worried about them.
Jamaica has been declared a disaster area. At least 7 people have died so far because of the hurricane. A grand jury investigating Indiana Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith's office regarding both ghost employment and an AI video featuring the wife of a legislator who was topless in it earlier this year. 2 of Beckwith's staffers are accused of watching it, but Beckwith says
that story is so false that there's no proof, there's no evidence. We've never seen anything like that. Never happened in my office.
Ghost employment involves employees working outside their duties while on the clock, but the investigation has not given specifics on that. Beckwith also says no one from the Marion County Prosecutor's Office has contacted him on either of these inquiries. 2 critically endangered tortoises stolen from the Indianapolis Zoo have been found alive and unharmed.
They're found in a cardboard box on a sidewalk at a public park in Madison County, Falls Park, at about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. We're still working diligently to find out who took these tortoises from the zoo.
State Police Police Captain Ron Galavis said several agencies are working together on the case, including Capitol Police, Pendleton Police, and the FBI. He says any charges will depend on where the investigation leads. A woman shot dead on the near northwest side of Indianapolis. Jarrett Lewis reports.
IMPD Captain Rob Ryder says a domestic situation between a man and a woman at a home late Tuesday night led to gunshots.
Seek help. We have domestic violence advocates. We have the Julian Center. We have other resources we can help you with. Don't get to a place where this happens to you.
Officers responded to the home on West 34th Street at around 11:45. Soon after, they located a man matching the description of the suspect about a block away. He was taken into custody and later identified as 38-year-old Stephen Baker Jr. IMPD is now talking to witnesses to the shooting. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles is warning you about a new scam targeting Hoosiers through text messages. The scam requests overdue payments for traffic violations or unpaid tolls and then would mimic the BMV's mobile website. If you get one of those, you're advised to delete the message immediately and avoid clicking on any links. The BMV says they do not send SMS messages about outstanding penalties. President Trump says a trade deal with South Korea is nearly done. Fox's Jared Halpern.
South Korean leaders deployed a charm offensive for President Trump, including presenting the American leader with a gold medal, the nation's highest honor, and a replica of a royal crown dating back to 57 BC.
I just wanted to thank you. You rolled out a red carpet that was a very good red carpet, a beautiful red carpet.
President Trump met with his South Korean counterpart to discuss a trade deal. No final agreement was signed, though the president says the deal is pretty much finalized. It would see South Korean companies invest $350 billion in the U.S. and tariff rates fall for South Korean imports. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
This news just breaking in IndyCar. Marco Andretti is announcing his retirement from auto racing at the age of 38. A trial starting today in a Portland federal court over whether troops can be deployed to protect federal buildings. The Trump administration has argued they do not have enough federal officers to do the job and need the support of the National Guard. A Connorsville photographer in trouble with the feds. Johnette Cruz explains why.
Connorsville photographer Mikkel Shepard, owner of Shepard Photography, has been arrested and charged in a federal complaint with sexual exploitation of a child and possession of child pornography. The investigation began with a tip from Google identifying over 1,400 files in Shepard's account depicting explicit images and videos of minors, some as young as 9 months old. A search warrant uncovered evidence that Shepard produced these images in both professional and personal settings like a daycare and gymnastics center and while babysitting. Authorities believe there may be more victims and urge anyone with information to contact the Fayette County Connorsville Police. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indy's media landscape about to change in a big way. Jake McDaniel reports on the reaction from an industry leader.
On Tuesday, the parent company of Wish TV and My Indy TV 23, Circle City Broadcasting, has agreed to buy competitor WRTV ABC from the EW Scripps Company for $83 million. Terry Heifetz is a senior lecturer in Ball State's media department.
My first reaction was, wow, this is kind of a big deal because each station has long been a competitor to the other one and a pretty strong competitors to them for decades and decades and decades.
Heifetz says this sale is very similar to when WXIN and WTTV became co-owned years ago. The FCC still needs to approve this. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And Game 5 of the World Series is tonight between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. The series is tied at 2 games apiece. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
This hour powered by Stevenson Heating and Cooling, your American Standard Air dealer, serving Johnson and Morgan counties.
And the crossroads of America. It's Tony Katz Today.
For my black brothers and sisters in the room, be reminded, they might not always start with us. but they will come home and end with us. We know that Malcolm X warned us that if you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing.
I mean, that's no way to start a show, Tony. You can't start a show with the mayor of Baltimore making the claim that the Trump administration is coming for black Americans. You know, I should have warned you, producer Landon, maybe we need the finger on the dump button. I don't know. This just came across the transom.
Now more than ever, we have to know what we stand for and who we stand with. Senator Hayes, there is no plan to 50. You are either with us or you're against us.
Oh, there's a lot of that kind of talk. A lot of that kind of you're with us, you're against us talk, which, you know, politically I could at least understand. It's in many ways a turn of phrase. The problem is with the political left, which has given up the very concept of being the Democratic Party, they mean you're with us or we start shooting. You disagree with us and we start shooting. If you want to argue that the political right is violent, you can go right ahead. But I argue that the political left is institutionalized within the party, the violence. They've internalized and institutionalized certainly the anti-Semitism. This is who they are. And they're telling you in every single way that not only is the violence good, not only is the violence acceptable, the violence is commendable, and the violence shall be lauded and glorified. And we've got enough data points to prove that true. Now just add on the mayor here. Tony Katz today. What are you doing, everybody? 833-GOT-TONY, 833-468-8669, 833-GOT-TONY. That's how you get to be a part of the program. Also, live streaming on the YouTubes, youtube.com/Tony Katz. You should go be a part of that immediately, if not sooner. President Trump in South Korea making trade deals. The trip so far, I think, can be seen as a success. I'm not quite sure how else to view it. Is it sound the trumpets the greatest thing that ever happened? No, I'm not getting that vibe. As with all of these trade deals, like sometimes they just come across as trade agreements, right? Frameworks. Framework is nice. Framework is always nice. But what you need is money changing hands. And until we see that in any of these trade deals, all we have is, well, it could be an opportunity. Well, opportunity is better